gentlemen, please focus your attention on the 50-yard line for the presentation of colors. From Goose Creek High School's JROCT.
Let me make something very clear. You couldn't play it.
Right, exactly. I'm like,
you don't have
people who don't know.
Yeah, right.
Left guard, Staff Sergeant Jacob Martin.
Yes.
First Sergeant Kyle Deslettes. Captain Makai Hunter. And First Lieutenant Isaiah Rodriguez.
CK goes and plays the transfer to North Carolina. Right. Then my boy Flan transfers to Florida. Right. The best thing. Now Claudel, like, you went and watched. And Claudel was winning games that they had no business winning. He was wanting to.
Right.
He didn't do it. They lose. But even the way you moved.
You got all of
They showed all of their money. They were all gun ho. Right. The family that comes from religious background, that's their MO, right? That's their team. So then, like, that's how they give them. But then all of a sudden,
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
You guys ready? I think we're okay. I don't know if you can hear, but I can go for it. We're fine. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, wait. Hey. Hey, you guys got me? Yeah, hey, so sorry. We haven't done that all year. I was like, yeah, we'll be fine. They usually do something on the field. They were right next to us. It was perfect. Good little last-second check down.
Welcome to the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report, empowering people through full-mouth dental implants.
Fans, it's your last opportunity this season. We're giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to go vote for tonight's Delta Force All-Stars Cheer the Game. Log on to abcnews4.com/poll and vote for either of tonight's cheer squad. We've got Stratford, we got Goose Creek. It's a huge rivalry. So go cast a vote for the Delta Force All-Stars Cheer the Game. Results later on tonight in the fourth quarter. First, the visitors, the Stratford Knights.
Red, black, and white. Let's fight. 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 Let's go. G-O, let's go. G-O, let's go, Gators. G-O, let's go. G-O, let's go, Gators. G-O, let's go. G-O, let's go, Gators. G-O, let's go. 1, 2. Go, Gators!
foe, it's a huge rivalry. The Delta Force Athletics Cheer of the Night.
We'll be right back with more from the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report.
You guys are the best. Oh, hey guys. I wanted to tell you all this. Tonight, whoever wins, there's an actual Golden Goose trophy. So if we have like an on-field yeah, it's hilarious. If we have an on-field camera, like beat them to the spot and have them running towards the trophy, that could be kind of a cool shot before we do our own trophy presentation.
I think I know where it's going to be from.
Good. So you can shed some
I
light.
remember correctly. They went out, but they may have moved it this year, but I'll have it back.
Okay.
We can sit down.
I've never asked you this. This is an important question.
Right.
I have no tape because I don't think I'm allowed to. You're like,
Right.
what would Ronnie's doing these nights? Like, what he did last night was crazy.
He's got one shot.
It's insane.
Dude, he's 39.
He's year 21. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't really leave it. Nobody's not supposed to do this.
At 39 against the top athletes.
You can make an argument that he could be the most valuable player to his team. If that's what the award is, it's just the score on the trophy. He can make an argument he's the most valuable player in the world. Is he the player?
No. It's just because he doesn't have what I call, well, not even just because Jordan's supporting cast has been better. I mean, yeah, okay, the 80s are Batman and Jordan is that's a little different. But the difference is that Jordan didn't want to win that. Jordan had 10
Says green, so it should be working.
Okay, we got it now.
We got it?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you going?
This is Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet on My TV Charleston.
LowCountry football fans, buckle up. Tonight is for the Golden Goose. It's Stratford. It's Goose Creek on tonight's Preferred Home Services. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Jack DeLongshaw alongside Everett German. It's our last Friday Night Rivals game of the year, and we've got a good one. Stratford Goose Creek rivalry. They don't like each other, and a region championship on the line.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday we were doing Cane Bay and Buford. Fast forward 10 weeks and we're here. What a great way to end this Friday Night Rival season with two outstanding ball clubs that have a lot to play for tonight.
Two outstanding ball clubs with two unbelievable sophomore quarterbacks. We saw Jakin Davis a week ago with Stratford, and he was as good as advertised.
Absolutely. Did a phenomenal job leading Stratford to the big win over Berkeley last week. Got stronger as the game went on. Really, this season, he's gotten better as the season has gone on as well. So tonight, looking forward to see his final performance here in the regular season.
And Goose Creek, they're really excited about their sophomore quarterback. Kamani Cleary has been maybe the most efficient quarterback in the state of South Carolina. No exaggeration.
Yeah, no apple turnover, no fumble turnover, no anything. This cat does not turn the football over. 0 turnovers on the season, 14 touchdowns. He's done a nice job, and you normally don't see that in young quarterbacks. But he protects the ball, and he gives his team a chance to win every single week.
Where else would you rather be? A rivalry, a region championship on a beautiful fall night. It's Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. It's Gators, it's Knights. Kick off right after this short break.
That's right. This is a good jersey. Whites are
Tonight's national anthem is sponsored by South Carolina Veterans, helping veterans and their families thrive. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Tonight's Cruz Chevrolet keys to the game.
Yeah.
Cruz Chevy on Rivers, just north of Northwoods Ball. You got a friend at Cruz Chevy. How are they going to walk away with a region championship tonight?
Well, I tell you what, two teams with a lot to play for. For Stratford, they got to slow the game down. They don't want to make this a track meet. Use as much time off that clock as they possibly can, and again, defensively, make a big play. For Goose Creek, they need a friend on the defensive side because they need to stop Jakin Davis, and then the second thing they need to do is really stop Jakin Davis. So hopefully the Goose Creek defense has a friend in the defensive business where they can stop the Stratford. But again, two great teams, two well-coached teams. It's going to be an outstanding ball game tonight.
Take a look at head coach Denny McDaniel. So fired up after that win a week ago against Berkeley, understanding that his alma mater hasn't won a region championship in 17 years. Tonight, they've got a chance to do just that.
That's a long time to go without claiming a region title. Stratford, one of the legendary football programs here in the Lowcountry. You take a look at Goose Creek head coach Jason Winstead, looking for his 5th straight region championship. So, yeah, I'd have to say for Denny to get that back at Stratford, for Jason to continue his streak, the one thing we know, something definitely is going to end tonight.
Push comes to shove. Foot meets leather, and we're off. The kickoff for Enzo Mori. Coach McDaniel told us he's a weapon in the kick game. A 93% touchback percentage. He wastes no time, and the Gators offense will take over at the 20. We'll introduce you to the starting quarterback tonight. We talked about him in our open, Kamani Clary. Just a sophomore. We're not going to jinx him. But he hasn't turned the ball over. Not a fumble lost. 14-0 is really kind of an anomaly, especially at his young age.
Tell you what, if he's not going to be a football player at the next level, he could be a babysitter because the guy doesn't drop anything. As we see this opening play here, a big run by the Gators.
This guy very much so could have been our player to watch. Malik McGowan, we're going to tell you a lot about him. Another sophomore in the backfield, averaging 5.9 yards a carry. As we take a look in at tonight's preferred home services starting lineups. Go Preferred, the company highly referred. We're going to talk a lot about Malik McGowan. As you see, Coach Winstead told us really good in the run game. They're averaging close to 180, 38 yards a game. But his wide receiver unit is special.
Yeah, definitely that's the strength of the group. Jalen Grant, also Evan Daniels. As you can already tell, a lot of tempo the Gators want to play with here tonight.
And on command, Evan Daniels, an absolute speedster on the outside. And we're going to see how Stratford defense is going to try to attempt to slow down this potent Goose Creek offense. Coach McDaniel told us his linebacking core has got to be their engine to get them off the field on third downs.
Well, and tonight they're going to have to play sideline to sideline. They're going to have to be able to cover the entire field. We already saw or seeing the tempo of Goose Creek. They're going to have their work cut out for them tonight.
You see another great run from Malik McGowan. Those linebackers that we mentioned, Andre McMillan, Darrell Holmes, Josh Fossey, Trey Davis. They're a speedy group, and they're going to have to play sideline to sideline, as you mentioned, because once Malik McGowan gets to that second level, we could see a ton of those Mr. Sparky first downs tonight.
And we talked about getting this offense off the field. So you got to be able to come up, ideally on first down, not allow them to pick up 3 and 4 yards, make them be second and long. But you can pretty much know if it gets in third and short situation, this Goose Creek offense has had a lot of success executing in that down and distance.
See as McGowan checks off, take a quick breather. It'll be Clary, drop back to pass, and he's absolutely smoked in the backfield. How about the first sack of the night? Darrell Holmes making his impact felt.
Yeah, I definitely think Mr. Holmes was not impeded on his route to the quarterback. As you see here, he actually just beats the double team and able to get to the young sophomore's outstanding quarterback. So a big play, and that's what Danny McDaniel talked about. They need more of those all night tonight in order for Stratford to have a chance to win this ball game.
Everett, you mentioned in that open, we saw a blocked punt last week from Stratford, a pick 6. It's those type of big plays on defense from an offense that doesn't make many mistakes. Can this defense make those huge plays to back them up to what is a 3rd and a mile? And now Goose Creek is just going to have to settle and punt the ball away.
And when you think about it, obviously with the tempo that Goose Creek likes to play with, yeah, the more 3 and outs obviously that you can force, you won't tire it down in the second half. So exactly, they need to make the most of their opportunities when they have an opportunity to blitz or, like you say, defensively come up with those big plays. They have to take advantage of those tonight.
After picking up a quick Mr. Sparky first down, Stratford, after the huge sack from Darrell Holmes, will fire it away in the punt game for Goose Creek. This is going to be a shallow one, but an advantageous Goose Creek bounce. In the return game for Stratford was Elijah Riley. He hesitated, he tipped it, and it's recovered. Goose Creek's got the rock. That was Jerome Fikes on senior night. The senior corner will recover the muffed punt. And our first miscue of the game will allow Goose Creek's offense to continue.
And I can see why he attempted to make that play. He didn't want that ball to continue to roll and continue to lose field position, but it didn't have that much spin on it. Unfortunately for him, just could not pick it up on the punt, and a break for the Gators here early on.
Back to the ground. McGowan, he's got a hole. He splits it for about a 6-yard pickup. The punt team, that was Owen Freris, number 88, a junior punter. It was a shallow punt, but an advantageous role that all of a sudden has got this stadium coming to life for the first time tonight.
Well, and you need those types of breaks, whether it be on offense or defense. Goose Creek gets the first one. Pretty sure it won't be the last of the night.
Nice ball on the outside, just a simple curl route to Evan Daniels. The senior receiver has been huge in stepping up in that wide receiver unit. They've experienced some serious injuries in that unit, and Evan Daniels has been the most successful receiver, the most targeted. That his 33rd catch of the season.
Yeah, you feel awful about that young man on that attempt on special teams, but I'm sure he'll make it up if he gets the opportunity tonight.
Well, when he gets another chance, it'll be Goose Creek 6, Stratford nothing. They capitalize on the miscue, and Malik McGowan finds that back pylon, and the rest is history. Malik, his 13th rushing touchdown of the season, and you can see why scouts in the South Carolina area are so high on the young sophomore running back.
Nice job of bouncing it to the outside. The offensive lineman did a great job of sealing that outside, pushing, blocking those guys down, which allowed the running back to be able to scamper into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night.
On for the PAT is Maya Gonzalez. This is her 3rd season as the field goal kicker. It's up, and she splits the uprights. All Gators. A muffed punt leads to a Malik McGowan touchdown. That touchdown brought to you by Trident Technical College. Touchdown. Your future, your college. Goose Creek 7, Stratford nothing with 7:58 to go in the first quarter. We welcome you back into Goose Creek High School. It's Preferred Home Services. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. If you are just joining us, some early action. Stratford's defense able to get off the field, but a muff punt leads to a Malik McGowan touchdown. His 14th on the season, his 13th rushing. And man, he has just got that typical Power 5 tailback build. Taking it off the top speed. I mean, he is a really special recruit when it comes to his collegiate interest.
Yeah, he's got the size, he's got the speed, and definitely he will be playing on Saturdays. I got to tell you, Jack, it's senior night here at Goose Creek, but man, it seems like every week we're seeing a phenomenal sophomore football player, whether it be a running back, a wide receiver, or a quarterback. In 2 years, it's going to be some special players here in the Lowcountry.
Well, on cue, before Stratford takes over, we're going to introduce you to our 3rd member of the crew, Trooper Bob.
Yes, I'm here with Sharita Blackett-Tier with Delta Force. What kind of programs do you have going on over there?
Well, we offer recreational and competitive cheerleading and power tumbling for children ages 2 and up. We also have an after-school program that services Somerville and the Nexton area. We also have open gym on Friday nights for school-age children and preschool open gym on Wednesdays.
And you have an exciting event coming up, too.
Yes, we do have our half-year tryouts coming up next week. That is great for beginning cheerleaders as well as experienced cheerleaders that want to keep their skills up in between the school cheer season and the next. So that's next week, the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th. They can come out and try out for our half-year teams. A very affordable option.
Also, in a couple of weeks, you have a special program you want to tell us about?
Yes, we have our special needs team, the A team, starting up on November the 12th. That is open to all athletes, regardless of age or disability. It's a free team. The only cost of appearance is for a uniform. They compete here in Charleston as well as in Myrtle Beach.
Good night for a football game tonight, right?
Great night for a football game. You ready to do some flips?
I'm right. You want me to do a flip? Hold my mic. No, we'll do that during the commercial. Hey, Sharita Blackett's here, Delta Force. I'll send it back to you guys upstairs.
Well, Ms. Sharita, we appreciate you, and a special shout-out again. We got to thank all of our corporate sponsors, but Delta Force has been with us since week 1. Thank you so much for allowing us to kind of help tell a high school football story here in the Lowcountry. Shout-out to Delta Force.
Man, if we could get Trooper Bob to do a flip, that would be worth the price of admission.
As Markel Hallman picks up another first down brought to you by Mr. Sparky. If Trooper Bob really does do a flip in between breaks, just know that the internet is in big trouble tonight.
Yes, it will go viral.
It's going to go viral, just like Markel Hallman. Not a 6-yard pickup for a first down, but while we were talking to Delta Force, about a 31-yard carry. Took it all the way out to around the 48. Markel Hallman, who we saw a week ago go for a $160 against Berkeley and 2 touchdowns. He's picking up right where he left off.
A nice recovery there. It looked like he was about to fumble that, but he able to corral the football and pick up as much as he could to protect the possession.
Well, as we talk a little bit more about Markel Home, let us introduce you to the preferred home services starting lineups. Here's what Stratford's going to run out. The supporting cast around Jacob Davis. Jacob Deacon, the tight end, had a touchdown a week ago. The grandson of Ray Stackley, an unbelievable athlete. As you see, Jacob Davis, an unbelievable athlete. The sophomore quarterback finally wrestled out of bounds at around the 15. He ran for 72 yards a week ago, and this Stratford rushing game all of a sudden really finding its full stride here in Week 10.
And I love the way Davis had the football in the outside hand, in his left hand, so that way if a defender came and swatted at it, it would go out of bounds. So a nice, tough run by Jacob Davis. You're right. When you have a running back and a quarterback that can run it, it's very difficult for that defense to key on one. So good drive, opening drive, I should say, by Stratford thus far.
Quick little out route that goes right outside the outstretched hands on the outside from J.Q. Crosby, and we'll see how Goose Creek's going to attempt to slow down this talented Stratford offense. A couple names to keep an eye on. Cameron Daugherty, the senior defensive end, is an absolute stud. Caden Gatson on the other side. They love their edge rushers.
Well, when you have an offense like Stratford, you have to have those edge rushers to try and keep Jacob Davis in the pocket. So they'll have their work cut up for them tonight. Safe to say I wouldn't want to be either one of these defensive coordinators having to go up against the offense.
Keep an eye on T.J. Clary, too, the twin brother of Kaimani Clary. He plays in that nickel hybrid free safety spot. He'll be all over the field looking to make some big tackles.
We good. Come on. 57 of y'all. We got more than 5-yard penalty.
Well, it made sense as we introduced you to all of our unbelievable starting student athletes tonight that we introduced you to our awesome officiating crew as well. The first yellow hanky is going to be a false start on Stratford. That'll stall out the drive a bit and push them back about 5 yards as they face now a 2nd and 15.
Yeah, the referee tonight, Kerry Collins. No, not the former quarterback for the Panthers and Penn State. Kerry, refereeing in the Lowcountry a long time, does a phenomenal job, as well as all of our officials all season long.
They find the tight end out in the flats. Jake Deacon takes a huge hit, quick to his feet. That was that kind of RPO that we saw a lot of last week. And again, because you have a really mature sophomore quarterback, his ability to read defenses, he's been able to really kind of take advantage of the flats the last 2 weeks.
Well, and when you have someone that has a catch radius like that, your big tight end, yeah, you just want to get it out in front of him. But one thing I like about that throw is you saw he threw it up the field, so when he caught it, his momentum was already going up the field instead of throwing it behind him. So when you have a big tight end target like that, yeah, you want to get that young man going with the momentum up the field.
Great ball on the outside. Looked like he found number 81, Sean Copeland. Looks like he might be a yard short, so they're facing a 4th and 1. As you see, we've entered the TEC equipment rental red zone. A throw that draws him back towards that 4th down marker, just unable to stay in bounds for the first down.
And you see some nice, safe, easy throws that will allow Davis to kind of get comfortable, settle into the game. Great job by the offensive coordinator thus far.
The field goal attempt is no good. Wide right. Tyler Stamen, who we saw hit a 43-yarder last week. He's 19-21 this season. They get 19-22. Goose Creek will retain the 7-0 lead And when we come back, they'll retain possession with 5:08 to go in the first quarter. It's all good. So we welcome you back into John Fulmer Field here at Goose Creek High School. It's Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet, an early 7-0 Goose Creek lead. And as we introduce Trooper Bob again, he's got a special guest, the mayor of Goose Creek.
That's right. I have a special guest, Mayor of Goose Creek, Mayor Greg Habib. Thank you for taking time out. I spotted you in the crowd. I asked you to come over here. Thank you so much. How important is it to you to come out on Friday night? You could be doing other things, but you're here supporting student athletes.
Well, we've got two great high schools in the city of Goose Creek with great student athletes. And, you know, we now sponsor the Golden Goose, so they've got something to play for. And I just believe strongly in young people competing at the highest level or as high as they can. And I want them to know how much I care about what they're doing and hope for their success.
We have Thanksgiving coming up next month, just a couple of weeks. Tell me what you're thankful for.
Man, I'm thankful for everything, Bob. First and foremost, my family. Got a new grandson. He's 7 months old. Has made my life whole now. But I'm thankful to live in a city of people that care about one another, that want to support one another, and want to help us get this city where we wanted to go. We've got a great group of people here in Goose Creek.
Congratulations on your grandson, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for taking time out to talk to us. I send you guys back upstairs. I could talk to the mayor all day down here.
Hey, I wish we could get the mayor upstairs with us as Malik McGowan dashes for about a 7-yard pickup, but we'll allow the mayor to be the perfect transition so we can begin to tell you about the Golden Goose. Everett, when we found out about this trophy, you know, the best of rivalries, they got a trophy, whether it's the Red River and they got the cowboy hat, the Palmetto Series. All the best rivalries have a trophy, and all the best football teams have got studs like Malik McGowan. That ball pops out at the end of the play after about a 27-yard pickup. Another Mr. Sparky first down. Malik McGowan, those rushing yards just eclipsed 50 yards already in the first quarter. But the winner of tonight is going home with the Golden Goose trophy. It's a legitimate Golden Goose.
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be interesting. We've seen a principal have to kiss a goat when his team or his school lost. So I'm looking forward to the Golden Goose. It's going to be interesting.
Interesting to say the least is got Manny Clary back into coverage. A perfect dart on the outside. He finds Evan Daniels, good enough for about a 12-yard pickup as Daniels fighting for all the extra yards. A flurry of red hats swarmed to the ball, but to no avail. Another Mr. Sparky first down. You know, as you see come out of Clary kind of step into this ball, accuracy might be the understatement of the century with number 3.
Well, he never puts the ball in harm's way. You know, we talked about it in the open, no turnovers on the season. That's just a simple throw that he probably has thrown 500 times this year, and he has executed that to a T. So it's all about execution with this young man, and so far, that's what he has absolutely done as we see I believe our first penalty of the night against Goose Creek.
See Coach Winstead ready to throw his way.
Holding. Number 50 on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
And it was just that, a holding penalty that'll negate the 5-yard pickup. Malik McGowan, they'll redo first down, but it'll be 1st and 20. We were just about to talk about, especially with how efficient offensively, they're so balanced. right now, Malik McGowan's averaging 138 yards per game on the ground. A quarterback that's a dual threat that can beat you on the ground as well.
Yeah.
They can beat you in so many different ways. You see again, Evan Daniels to the outside. About a 15-yard pickup. A holding call, who needs it? Another passing catch. Evan Daniels has been lethal to this point.
I mean, he literally is throwing to a spot. I mean, you can ask for much more for a wide receiver than to have a quarterback that can literally hit you in the chest. So, yeah, you're right. Pinpoint accuracy, that's what we're seeing on display tonight.
Great team tackling, as that was Josh Fawcett and Jameel Gadsden in on the tackle for Stratford. But again, it's because they're not throwing in bad downs. He's not putting himself in a position, Kaimani Clary, just a sophomore, a 61% passer completion percentage this year. The 14 touchdowns, incredible, but he's averaging a $186 in the year. And as you can see, like, he's not trying to take you over the top. Right. He's taking what the defense can give you. And right now, he is going to try to take it over the top. He's looking for his speedster, and he's got him. Evan Daniels, he's been clocked running up to 22 miles per hour on the season. He flashes the Shador, a Trident Technical College touchdown. Your future, your college. That Selly's been really the celebration of the future, as Evan Daniels has been electrifying in this first quarter.
I mean, money on the spot. Talk about dropping it in the breadbasket. You could not have thrown that any better. Wide open was this wide receiver. And I got to tell you, boy, the creek is rising in Goose Creek. And right now, this offense is putting on a display here in the first quarter.
Maya Gonzalez out for the PAT. It's up, and it's perfect. 14-0 Goose Creek with 2:55 to go in the first quarter. I mentioned it. I don't know if you heard me. Evan Daniels, he's leading his team in targets. He had 31 coming in tonight. He's already got 3. And what was his 8th touchdown of the season. But thanks to the new Catapult system, the 40-yard dash is almost of the old. Catapult's got these guys wired up.
Right.
They clocked him at 22 miles per hour. He'd go play for the Dolphins this Sunday if you wanted to with that speed.
I mean, that's getting it. That's moving. This guy has some what we call Olympic speed. And when you combine Olympic speed with outstanding hands, that's going to be a pretty good wide receiver. So route running also goes into play with that. But, yeah, running, defense, you talk about the balance. That's the sign of a good football team, when you can run it, when you can throw it, when the defense doesn't know what's coming. And the one thing I wanted to say, Jack, is outside of that one sack, every play for Goose Creek has been a positive play.
Kickoff from Owen Ferris is booted and be carried out to around the 30-yard line. That's where Jake Davis and the Knights will take over. You know, for Goose Creek offensively, we kind of made note that wide receiver core was their strong suit. That's what Coach Winstead said. He's got a really veteran group. But they've had some guys go down. Their sole Division I commitment, Davion Malloy. He's committed to West Point. So thank you for your service, Mr. Malloy. He broke his collarbone against Somerville. He was leading his team on the outside. So, one man down, next man up. A flurry of young candidates. Evan Daniels, Jalen Grant, Shy Grant. They've all stepped up. And tonight it's been Evan Daniels yet again, as this wide receiver unit has been fantastic. But you want to talk about fantastic. Look at Markel Holman willing his team back into this ball game. A Derrick Henry-esque stiff arm on the outside. It looked like that run was only going to go for about 1 or 2. But after one of the meanest stiff arms you'll see of the night, clip that play, because Markel Holman, the senior, he is feeling himself. That, a run of about 48.
That's a grown man move right there, along with strength and speed down the sideline. Yeah, Holman's off to a big night tonight. What a play by Davis.
Come on. The game's in slow motion. You wanted a response? We found it. Jake and Davis dives into the end zone. He finds that pylon. A Trident Technical College touchdown. Stratford found himself down in this Golden Goose rivalry by 14. Well, how about just 3 plays to get in the end zone?
Yeah, that was pretty quick. They made that look very easy as he ducked under the pass rush, and Davis able to take off. We talked about his speed as well. Great down the field blocking by his wide receiver to free him up and allow him to get those extra yards that results in a touchdown. What we thought could potentially be a defensive battle, all of a sudden, get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be an offensive explosion here tonight.
I was going to say, everybody, let's hold our breath. A roller coaster affair. This game far from over when you got the likes of Jake and Davis at quarterback. Holloman, who, again, he ran for $160. and 2 touchdowns a week ago. It feels like he's playing his best ball in his senior year. But Jacob Davis, who again, his 2 older brothers played the position at Stratford High School. He's the son of an incredible human being and football coach in John Davis. But how about this? His big brother JD played baseball at the Citadel.
Right.
Was his quarterback here. How about his brother-in-law, Bo Nix?
Oh, really?
Bo Nix.
Of Oregon?
Oregon. How about 5 years of
At
college
Auburn.
football? He just broke the collegiate start record with 54. Talk about a mentor, not only looking to big brothers, but a guy that stepped in, and you can kind of see the build, the dual threat action, that this young man has got a future maybe as bright as Mr. Bo Nix on the West Coast.
And that's the future. Of course, Bo Nix started at Auburn, then transferred out to Oregon and doing a phenomenal job. The Ducks there in I believe the top 10. Big game tomorrow. I believe they play at Utah. But yeah, you could see the the resemblance there of being able to put it on the I want to say on the court, but put it on the field or put it through the air. Those are the types of quarterbacks that now we're starting to see all over the place, including, in the NFL as well.
I was going to say, to be able to change the game in 2 totally different ways. What makes Jacob Davis, and we talked about in our open, Coach Winstead jokes with us. He said, we have to stop Jacob Davis. I got any other keys? No, we have to stop Jacob Davis. You're very emphatic. And what makes this young man so different, his maturity, the way he approaches the game, he treats his teammates, a testament to he and his family, Mr. Davis. Now let's see if this Knight defense can slow down Kamani Clary.
Well, one thing I'm noticing from both quarterbacks is just their leadership, their composure. As you mentioned, just mature for their age. They don't get flustered. They just make plays, and sometimes, it's not going to look the way you draw it up, but those who can kind of be flexible and kind of improvise, those are the ones that are going to have success, and so far it's been an exciting first quarter.
Clary back to pack. He's looking on the outside, bobbled a bit, but finally coming down with it was Ashton Drayton. Ashton Drayton, one of our favorite stories. He was a receiver expected to have a huge year. In week 0, suffers an injury. And this, his first action, his first target back. Welcome back, Ashton Drayton. He'll be a huge piece in his Goose Creek playoff run.
Did you see that throw? He literally had to throw that between the linebacker and the secondary, and he dropped it right in between the two. And then, of course, they bounced back with the big run over the right side. And right now, offensively, Goose Creek, they can do whatever they want. Run it, pass it. It's been an offensive clinic thus far.
Look at the emotion, the passion. They get it right back to Malik McGowan. He bounces it to the outside. He lowers the shoulder. He ain't going out of bounds. He lays the boom. Some extracurriculars after the play, a late hanky. We'll be curious if this is an unsportsmanlike or maybe even a late hit, as it looked like the right tackle, Trey Adams, pancaked somebody out of bounds after the play.
It's always good to be the one delivering the blow instead of the one absorbing the blow. So that secondary, they are not looking forward to seeing number 9 come across the line of scrimmage.
Conversation, as you can see, Coach Winstead poking his ear in. That was a 12-yard run from Malik McGowan. A huge hit at the end of the play will be interesting to see if the extracurriculars after the play will negate a big pickup on the ground.
Referees obviously wanting to make sure that they get it correct.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, 75 of the offense. 15 yards from the end of the run, second down.
Interesting. So it was after the play, so they won't replay first down.
It was a dead ball.
The run is negated, so it is a dead ball. I was almost curious if they were going to keep it first down because of the pickup, but they will not. That was the left guard, Kingston Hughes, not the right tackle, Trey Adams.
You know my favorite saying, Jack, play with emotion, don't play emotional. It's a rivalry game. Championship on the line. That's a situation where you hurt your team by not keeping your cool and keeping your composure. So continue to play hard, but, again, you don't want to cost your team like that particular play.
Oh, just outside the outreached arms of Shy Grant, the senior receiver at 6'1", 160 pounds. He needed all those inches to try to go up and catch it. That's the first incomplete pass of the night from Kamani Clary. It really wasn't a bad ball. Zone coverage, sitting down in the soft spot. Almost a great pitch and catch.
I just can't get over how exciting this season has been, but man, next year and the year after, Jack, if we're still doing Friday night rivals and we're talking about senior quarterbacks, you're talking about Clary and Davis, and you think of the kid up there at Buford.
Number 50 of the offense.
It's going to be a special time here in the LowCountry for sure.
Check it out.
A holding is going to have Goose Creek facing 2nd and a mile. Make it 2nd and 35, but Everett, you're right. And think about all the quarterbacks we've seen this year. All really underclassmen. We saw Henry Rivers from Berkeley a week ago. I mean, the future of quarterback play in the LowCountry is different.
It's just, yeah. And right now, it seems like that 4A classification, some of the better upperclassmen are there, as we see a big play here by the Gators.
And Evan Daniels' speed is something special. He takes just a quick little bubble screen that was going to go for about 5, and he turns it at about 22. It'll make it about 3rd and 14, call it, as Daniels is asking for a quick breather.
Heck, the way Clary throws the ball, this is no pressure here, 3rd and 14.
I was going to say, you said every play has been productive minus a couple penalties. Clary back to pass, and he finds a perfect wheel route on the outside. What an unbelievable catch from Malik McGowan. A beautiful play call, and another Mr. Sparky first down.
How is this kid a sophomore? I mean, he is throwing pinpoint. I can't keep emphasizing enough. Tight spiral. Again, hitting guys right on the spot. Just the composure. And got to give credit to that offensive line of Goose Creek as well. They're really allowing him to have a clean pocket, which has allowed him to pick apart this Stratford defense.
If we had this Stratford defense a week ago, those were the type of plays we were accustomed to seeing. A huge hit in the backfield from Stratford from number 56, Wes Snowden. Have been great in the run game. But right now, you're right, from left to right, Dallas Lee, Kingston Hughes, Mauricio Summers, Xavier Johnson, and Trey Adams have been giving a great pocket for Kamani Clary in the first quarter. Clary, play action again, and he was looking for Evan Daniels, and he had him. Daniels had a whole lot of grass in front of him if he was able to bring it in.
And that was the first one that he kind of was off target with it. Threw it slightly behind him. If he hits him in stride, Daniels might still be running into the end zone right now. So I'm sure Clary is beating himself up because that middle of the field, Jack, has been wide open all night and looking for the Goose Creek Gators to expose that and take advantage of that territory there in the middle.
I was going to say, they've kind of blown him up the middle of the seam. Clary, it's going to be a throw he wishes he had back, but look, so unfazed as he's back to pass yet again. He's going to step up in the pocket and he's going to look to run. A sack in the backfield, though. Trey Davis, the outside linebacker, a shoestring tackle.
Yeah.
That would have been without question a first down with Kymeni Clary's speed. He runs a 4.8 40 and a big-time tackle in the backfield from Davis.
Yeah, Stratcutter with the first down saving tackle, because I got to believe if Clary had been able to escape that arm tackle, he probably would have ran for a first down.
Not lying. Landon Stratcutter, a 3-year starter, offers from Limestone, Erskine, and Newberry. That big tackle will take us to the second quarter. Up and down, up and down. If you like an offensive football game, you found it. It's been a clinic on both sides. Goose Creek, the home team, leads on senior night, 14-7. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting going.
Yeah, Ford.
Oh, wow. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that game.
Somerville fumbles on second play. Fort recovers and scores on a pass.
That's going to be a 48-45
Yeah,
game.
last team with the ball.
That C.J. Watson kid, I know that was the first week you were in D.C.
Yeah.
C.J. Watson, they were doing like a 2-quarterback system, and Watson, stud lefty, he like just, against Gaffney, just completely took over the position. He was really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to go visit our friends down at the concession stand. They've got tons of good food for us. Go down and check them out and support Goose Creek High School and our athletic program.
The home school on senior night, Goose Creek leads 14-7 over the rivals, the Stratford Knights. But before we get things going in the second quarter, it's time for our preferred home services, and News 4 are proud to present each participating home school a check for $500. This grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school that just much more great. Over the past 13 seasons, Friday Night Rivals and our sponsors have donated over $140,000 to LOWCOUNTRY students and schools. Congratulations to Goose Creek from Preferred Home Services and News 4 as we go to Trooper Bob for the check presentation.
That's right. I'm here with Mr. Wilson, the principal of Goose Creek High School. $500. How's this money going to help the school?
Well, look, at Goose Creek High School, we have a very diverse student body, and one of the things that we pride ourselves on is celebrating diversity, culture, and this would give our PTSA an opportunity to do a lot of wonderful things for the diverse group that we have here at Goose Creek High School.
Excellent, excellent. Yep. Send it back to you guys upstairs while we hold this heavy check.
Man, such incredible insight. Did you hear from Principal William Wilson? We'll turn it back down to him in a second. But it's so cool to hear over $140,000 from Preferred Home Services. It's going a long way.
Well, the one thing we always remember is student athletes, and these kids have to perform in the classroom as well as on the field. So always good to be able to support them financially as well.
And on cue, let's go down back to the sidelines where we have our Thumbs Up Guy Educator Spotlight. The Thumb Up Guy are your personal injury attorneys at Miller, Dawson, Siegel, and Ward, winning cases and winning your trust. We send it back to Trooper Bob and Principal William Wilson.
Right, Principal Wilson, you're down here Friday night. A lot of students here with the parents here. How important it is to see the parents support the students here at the school?
Well, I think that's what it's about. You know, a high school experience for students is kind of like the top of the totem pole when it comes to just getting that I don't know, the excitement built up, but more so when you got the parents, when you got the staff members here. I think the students it just does something to them to make them just feel like they are valued and important.
And what are some exciting things you're doing here at Goose Creek?
Well, we are the home for the Berkeley Centers for the Arts. And if you don't know what that means, that simply means that we have some of the best fine art, related art, performing art talent in the school district housed right here at Goose Creek High School. And so what we pride ourselves in is just highlighting that talent. And we have one of the top women choral groups. We call them Renzenzo. And what that is that they are ensemble of all women, or should I say young ladies that sing in harmony, that just does a magnificent job, and they're among the best. We did host, we were the featured group at the Furman event this past weekend, and so that speaks volumes about what their talents are about.
I know we both saw the mayor here just a couple minutes ago. I asked Mr. Mayor this. I do want to ask you this. Thanksgiving's coming up. What is something that you're thankful for?
I believe I am very thankful for, foremost, just good health, and ultimately just family, because I think that helps to provide you good support when it comes to health and all these other good things in life. And the last thing I would like to bring up is I am thankful for the simple fact that I have this honor to represent such a great group of students and staff at Goose Creek High School. That's something that I think that everyone should hear.
Well, he told me a couple minutes ago, he said, you remember, I was with Somerville High School. He remembers my son, who's turning 27 tomorrow. So happy birthday, Colt. I'll send it back to you guys upstairs. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for your time.
Thank you so much.
I gotta tell you, Everett, Trooper Bob, we're so thankful for your time with Principal Wilson. So insightful, so much wisdom, and So incredible to kind of hear how he's changing the lives of so many student athletes here at Goose Creek High.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure to know Will Wilson for a long time, a great principal. I've kind of followed his journey, being from Somerville and being this AP here at Goose Creek and now the head person. So good to see him and glad that he's doing great things here at the Creek.
You saw during the interview with Principal Wilson, Trooper Bob, another big-time run for Markel Holman. He's over 55 rushing yards already on the night. That was good enough for another West Shore home first down. America's most admired home remodeling brand is on that second 8. You see just a little bit of mistiming. I wouldn't say miscommunication between Jake and Davis and J.Q. Crosby on the outside, but it'll result in a 3rd and 8. Do you go back to the tight end in the slot? Do you go back to Holloman? Is this 4-down territory in the middle of the field?
Let's see what happens on this play before we
jump to conclusions. Let's see if they don't even need it. So dangerous is Davis when he's out on the run. A hanky and a penalty flag where it appears it might be in the spot of potentially holding. If that is the case, Goose Creek will decline. Coach Winstead eagerly looking on.
And that's one that with Davis's talent, you'd probably like to see him just tuck that one and pick up the necessary yardage. That's just a tough throw, not a throw that he can't make, but throwing on the run, not able to really get his feet set. A tough throw, wasn't able to connect, but it may not have mattered if this penalty is against Stratford.
Still awaiting an announcement. As our head official has a conversation with Coach Winstead.
We have 2 flags on the play, both on the offense. First, illegal motion. That penalty be declined. An eligible man downfield on the offense. That will also be declined. Result, 4th down.
The penalty clearly going to be declined as Stratford will send the punt team out. And Enzo Moore, who's averaging 41 yards per punt, a true weapon in the special teams game, is on to try to flip the field.
And you think about it, Jack, this Stratford offense really has not been on the field much tonight. The first possession was cut short because of the fumble on the punt return, and then their scoring drive was in 3 plays.
Everett, a conversation to be had. What looked like a dead play. Number 4, Alexander Ravenel, just casually trotting back. It looked like the play was dead. They were going to allow an advantageous Stratford punt to roll, and it nicks the heel of Alexander Ravenel. A really heads-up play from Elijah Riley, who on his side was muffed the punt from Stratford that resulted in the 7 points, and all of a sudden, deja vu.
It's almost at the same exact position of the field. But, so now they're even. They both have given it back to each other. But in no situation, Jack, just get out of the way. If you're not going to field it, just get away from the football so that things like that don't happen.
Well, now can they capitalize on a Goose Creek mistake and Markel Holman churning the feet into the TEC equipment rental red zone? They're just 3 yards out, and go ahead and take another look in.
Right here, that's when you just get away. Even for number 4, you got to be telling your teammate there to just basically get out of bounds, so that way you don't have to worry about it.
Jake and Davis looking for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. We await an announcement, and it's good.
Tush push.
The brotherly shove, the tush push, call it whatever you want. The Knights back in the end zone on the legs of Jake and Davis. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game awaiting a PAT attempt.
Yeah, what I call it is 6 points for Stratford there. Nothing fancy there. The offensive lineman able to get that drive, reestablish that offensive line down the field, got a little bit of help from his running back, able to push him in. And we always talk about it, Jack. There's 3 components to a good football team: offense, defense, special teams. Both teams, special teams, have let them down thus far, with both of them resulting in 7 points for the opposition.
Look at Coach McDaniel and Jake and Davis. Yeah, they're having a blast. A 14-point deficit erased. 10:15 to go in the second quarter, and the Golden Goose still up for grabs. Ladies and gentlemen, it's week 10. We welcome you back into the Low Country for Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet. And when I tell you that we have the best cast and crew in the entire country, look at our guy up there multitasking.
Yeah, no pun intended, casting crew.
Like
That's
that?
right there. And after the day that I had is see Tim Fennell still trying to catch it. We were talking about it, Jack, earlier. I was a little late getting here today because let's just say I had a alligator in my neighbor's backyard. Literally in my neighbor's backyard.
Well, I don't know if Mr. Fennell's fishing pole up in our TEC equipment rental scissor. So thankful for them all year. I don't know if that fishing rod was helping you.
No, that gator, he was about a 6-footer, weighed about 40, 50 pounds. He was, let's just say he didn't pay his HOA fees, and so he was arrested and taken out of the neighborhood.
Politely escorted off of the premises in Mr. German's neighborhood. And I got to ask you.
No trespassing allowed.
Maybe an omen. Maybe he knew you were coming to see the Goose Creek Gators.
Well, there's a lot of Gators tonight. Got a big game tomorrow, obviously Florida and Georgia. So let's just say I've had my fair share of Gators over the last 24 hours.
You're good come Sunday. The largest cocktail party in the world in Jacksonville between Georgia and Florida tomorrow. And there are lots of things to celebrate here in Goose Creek.
Tell you what, Kamani Cleary keeps throwing the football as he is. He'll be playing in the Florida-Georgia game in 3 years. That'll be some of his options.
Goodness gracious, efficient and understatement. He turns the hand off. Blake McGowan makes a man miss. About a 3-yard pickup, but Trey Davis, the senior outside linebacker, he didn't stop until he heard the whistle.
Yeah, and that was awfully close. When you hear that whistle, you got to let him go. Forward momentum was stopped.
Looks like it's going to be a hold before the big hit from Trey Davis. Waiting an announcement, but it appears it might be on that left side.
Holding. 75 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Talk about guys that have that look to play at the next level. Trey Davis, senior, 6'3", 203. Just a guy that you can tell loves football, loves making plays, and preferably for him, he likes to make them in the backfield.
It is that linebacker crew. They play that 3-4, and those linebackers are so important to how they line up schematically, but also they bring that intensity. If they're going to slow down this Goose Creek attack, it'll be them. As Clary airs it out, he's looking for his speedster, and just off the fingertips of Evan Daniels. We told you they got him up to 22 miles per hour. He needed to kick it up, put the foot on the gas, and get to 24 to catch that one.
When you can outrun a double team off the line of scrimmage, that's when you know you have what we like to refer to as cheetah speed, kind of like Tyree Hill with the Miami Dolphins. He literally just ran past two people just a tad bit too far. Again, I'm sure Cleary wants that pass back.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's try a new man. He's got Shy Grant on a go route. He's got one man to beat, just him in the end zone. A Trident Technical College touchdown in E. He's going to lose sleep about the last throw. Just kidding. A 61% completion percentage. He's got 2 incompletions all night. And Kaimani Clary, an 80-yard bomb to Shy Grant for his 3rd touchdown of the season.
So you miss with Cheetah Tyreek Hills, then you throw it to Jalen Waddle. So you just kind of waddle in the end zone. Like you said, nothing fancy there, just a go route down the field, throw it up, lay it out, get some air under it, and allow your guys to just simply run, catch, and take it to the house. Boy, you talk about an explosive offense. The Goose Creek Gators have that.
On for the PAT yet again, splitting the uprights is the ever-perfect Maya Gonzalez. In her 3rd season of kicking extra points, Maya's only missed 1 extra point just a few weeks ago. She remains perfect tonight. And so has this Goose Creek offense. Perfection, the standard. Come on, where else would you rather be? It's Preferred Home Services Friday Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet. Gators 21, Knights 14. Preferred Home Services Front Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet, 21-14 with 9:33 to go in the second quarter. If you're looking for an offensive clinic, if you're trying to go on to Huddle tonight and watch some of the best offense in the country, look no further. Goose Creek torching dudes in the air, and Stratford burning you on the ground. What else could we ask for?
You know, originally this week, Jack, you and I were talking all week. We're like, oh, man, it would have been nice to do Somerville, Fort Dorchester, or Lucy Beckham, or James Allen. Hey, we got a game here between these two rivals, an offensive explosion. Somebody's going to have to make a defensive adjustment, or it could be the last team with the football wins this game tonight.
Two mistakes on special teams as Elijah Riley recovered the last one. He's darting down the sideline. About a 55-yard return. Jacob Davis and the Knights will take over around the 30. Not a lack of fireworks tonight, to say the least.
Good job coming up and fielding that high kickoff. Able to get all the way inside Goose Creek territory. So now Mr. Davis is like, you think you've done something? Watch this. And now he'll get his opportunity to lead his team into the end zone.
Go back to the ground to Markel Holloman, about a pickup of 4. If you're just now joining us, here's what you missed. Goose Creek gets off to a commanding 14-0 lead in just 6 minutes of game time. How Stratford respond? Well, how about on 3 rushing attempts? They get back into the end zone on 78 total yards on the legs of Jacob Davis. A muffed punt from both teams allowed Stratford to get the ball back at around the 20. They burn you on the ground again. Now looking for an answer. They trail by 7 with 8:50 to go. They go back to the ground with Hallman. They've been running behind the big fella, Landon Stradcutter. As you see, they finished the play late, but not before about a 7-yard pickup or forward motion will have Hallman down, as they're now looking at about a 3rd and 2.
For those of us who are from the Low Country, you know, you think of Stratford and Goose Creek, you think Chuck Reedy, you think Ray Stackley, 2 coaches, legendary coaches, Hall of Fame coaches that love to run the football. They're probably watching this game like, what is all this throwing the ball through the air down the field? What is going on? But, man, we are definitely been treated to an entertaining game here tonight thus far. Both offenses putting on clinics.
Oh, man. Look at Holman continuing to churn those legs. Good enough for another West Shore home first down. He was met by the big fella up front, Zion Freeman, 6'3", 250, playing defensive tackle, and he just runs right through him.
Yeah, that's a large man to kind of run through, but Stratford was able to do it. And the drive will continue.
Oh, I love that. Just see Freeman waving off the sideline. They wanted to go to a personnel change, but Zion Freeman, along with Caden Gatson, Tyrone Rivers, and Cameron Daughtery, this was the group up front that we were really excited to watch come put some pressure on Jacob Davis. As Davis, a quick little screen to the outside. He finds number 9, Freddie Alston, sophomore slot receiver. They had him in motion. And those are the kind of plays on first down offensively that completely change your offense, especially schematically.
Yeah, because, well, now you're 2nd and short. You can take a shot at the end zone. You can run it. Your playbook is wide open here. I would like to think or predict that this is normally where we've seen the big tight end have a lot of success down there inside the red zone. So we'll see if they can get him slipping out the backfield, maybe cutting across the field if Davis can hit him.
It's pistol formation. They're looking for him. That was Jake Deacon off to the left. They go to the end zone. J.Q. Crosby in solo coverage on the outside was Jaden DeWeese. And it appears like we're going to have a penalty in the area of DPI. We'll wait for the announcement as I may have been incorrect. It looks like Stratford's offense is walking behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get there to the Deacon, the tight end, but nice job by the defense of Goose Creek covering it up, and it forced the throw into the end zone. As you see right here, the initial was to hit that, but they took that away, so the second option, and even that situation, Jack, you just want to throw that up and make it a jump ball and try to come down with it.
And it's actually going to be a legal
another man downfield, 56 to the offense. 5 penalty, 6 second down.
Well, they get that on West Snout and the IMG transfer, but they honestly could have called it on the entire offensive line. Was that a little miscommunication? Because the O-line looked like they were in run-up blocking.
This was an RPO situation. Maybe they didn't expect the pass.
Well, they're keeping on the ground now as another hanky came flying into the backfield as Holloman picked up about 10, enough for a first down.
Another hanky.
This could be on the Knights.
You think of all the great running backs from the Hal Greens to the Rodney Kinlaws, who actually end up going to, Penn State. You also had, obviously right now, Mario Anderson at South Carolina. Just some great guys played there at Ray Stackley Field, Stratford.
And then,
of course, the same thing.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
He's had a rough this has been a rough drive between being down the field and holding. But yeah, talking about this rivalry, and then, of course, Goose Creek. You had Tremel Terry, who went on to, Georgia. Brandon Shell, the big offensive lineman that, went to South Carolina. Just so many great. And now Javon Kinlaw, who's starting for the San Francisco 49ers defensive line. So just a ton of great players in this rivalry.
Well, he might be the next great one. Jakin Davis, 2nd and 17. The pocket collapse. He escapes, scampers for what looks like a West Shore home first down.
You talked about it being able to improvise when things break down. You just have to make a play. You don't want to put it in harm's way. You don't want to give it to the other team. So just tuck it, run, get as much as you can. That's what really has impressed me with Davis and Clary thus far, is these sophomores' decision making and living for third down instead of obviously turning it over. In this situation, worst case scenario, you want to come away with at least a field goal attempt.
Well, I misspoke. Davis actually stepped out of bounds around the 17. Makes it a much more third and manageable. It's Davis joining the backfield with Markel Holloman. He's got his tight end at the bottom of the screen, and that's where you're circling. They go back to him right there. You called it, but a great play in coverage was the twin brother. That was T.J. Clary breaking up on 3rd and 5.
But even that, Jack, if you look at the center field, it was zero coverage. There was no safety up there. If they could have maybe ran a skinny post or something, the middle of the field was wide open. But instead, they go to their moneymaker. The big tight end just not able to connect. Good coverage by Goose Creek.
And also in coverage was the linebacker Michael Nelson Span, but to break it up was Clary. On for the kick team, the ever-reliable Tyler Stammen. He missed one earlier in the game, but he is 19 of 22 in the season, along a 43 into the wind we saw a week ago. He's got a cannon.
And we talked, obviously with Danny McDaniel, he mentioned finishing drives, being able to capitalize. We do such a great job moving the football between the 20s, and then we kind of stall out. So this is a situation where, again, you've had a pretty good drive. You got to at least come away with 3, especially because, as you mentioned, Jack, he missed on his first attempt.
A little bit of an official timeout conversation between head official and both Danny McDaniel and Jason Winstead. Looks like they're put some more time on the scoreboard. Daniel was a little frustrated, and maybe some of that frustration because, again, this great field percentage or position because of that huge return from Elijah Riley. Let's see if Stammen can get the Knights back on the board. Good snap, good hold. Hovering next to that left crossbar, and it sneaks in. 21-17, the Stratford Knights able to scratch across 3.
That was huge. Obviously, Coach McDaniel and staff would have loved to capitalize with a touchdown, but still able to get 3 points on that drive. Every point is going to be crucial here. This first half has shown 2 solid football teams, 2 great offenses, and you're going to need as much points as you can if you want to escape here with the region title.
You can see that ball just boomed through the field goal. Tyler Stammen's got really high future, taking the football to the next level. I don't know if you saw him. I think it was Jordan Ravenel. I was looking at my notes to make sure I got number 7 correct. He came flying off the edge, almost blocked that field goal from about 37 out.
We talked about how sensational the sophomore quarterback class is from a special team standpoint, and not necessarily the punting, but the field goal kicking has been very impressive tonight. And really all season long, we've seen these guys be able to really give it a good little kick from between 30 and 40 yards, which we hadn't seen in a long time here in the Low Country. So from a skill position player, special team player perspective, yeah, we've seen some good kickers here this season.
You're not lying. I mean, James Allen's got 2 dudes that are 4-star recruits. Yeah. We've seen some really special talents in that special teams unit, and especially at the high school level, can serve as a huge advantage. I mean, they're weapons. And as we see Coach Jason Winstead, he told us, hey, special unit wasn't great early. They've got Maya Gonzalez, who's automatic in the PAT game, and Hohen Freres, who does the kicking and punting. He brought in Parker White, the South Carolina Gamecock leader in points all time, an NFL free agent now.
Who should be in the NFL.
Absolutely should be in the NFL.
You look at some, I think back to the 49ers game last week. The kicker missed 2. We've just seen a lot of extra points and missed field goals. So the fact that Parker can't even get a shot, that's kind of a travesty. Yeah.
But cool, though, from a sense in the low country. Not only is he still working out, waiting on his opportunity, but he's coming to Goose Creek. He's going to First Baptist and helping out their units. And you can see, I mean, like you said, Goose Creek special teams has been fantastic tonight. They go back to, how about the cutback? Unbelievable run from Malik McGowan. It looked like he was going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. A cutback upfield, and number 9, too shifty. An 18-yard pickup for McGowan.
A nice jump cut there that time by McGowan. That sophomore class once again on display, able to do a nice job of start it in the middle and then right here, bam, bounce it to the outside. Good block there by the big guy, number 70 of Goose Creek. We got to make sure we give the big guy some love, Mr. Xavier Johnson. That little kick-in block to allow McCleary to pick up a first down.
And the right guard, Xavier Johnson, pulling to that left side, blowing up that left side to allow Malik McGowan, who's had an unbelievable season in the backfield for the Gators. He's rushed for over 1,300 yards on the season going in tonight, 138 a game, 6 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns, 1 in the receiving game as well. Just coming into tonight, he's got a long of 82. He runs a 4.64. He's checking all the boxes. It's Kaimani Clary. He's looking to check another one. He's got Shy Grant deep again. Kaimani Clary. Remember the name, throwing the deep ball with the rest of them for another Trident Technical College touchdown. Make it 2 for Shy Grant.
Most juniors and seniors would have taken off and ran the football. Look at the sophomore. Stayed in the pocket, kept his head down the field, found his receiver wide open behind the secondary. All they're seeing is the back of his jersey. My man, Mr. Cleary, throwing dimes out there, handing out touchdown passes like candy on Halloween.
Oh, it's
another
right.
6 for the Gators.
It's right around the quarter, and it's been easy pickings. Maya strikes it to the uprights yet again. But he steps up in the pocket, he navigates his way, he drops it right in the breadbasket.
I mean, literally perfect. You don't even have to break stride right there. Put your hands out, and he is delivering the football with precise precision. That's 2 tubs for him.
Shy Grant standing at 6'1", 160 pounds. He's already over 100 yards in this first half on those 2 big Trident Technical College touchdowns. He was actually, as you see, as Jake Crabbe, this is Shy Grant of Goose Creek. He actually was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season for Goose Creek. He transitioned over as Kaimani Clary showed him, just a sophomore, but I can handle it. Shy Grant humbly steps aside. He served into this receiving role. He transferred from St. John's Christian a season ago. That's his 4th touchdown of the season, his 23rd catch, well over 400 yards. Man, this unit is unreal.
Listen, if you a senior, 6'1", 160, and no disrespect to, where'd you say he came from? St. John's Christian?
St. John's Christian.
Yeah, I can promise you Shane Beamer and Maury Strayton and Dabble Sweeney probably aren't looking there to find players. You take that talent and put it on the 5A stage, and you can put up these types of numbers. Yeah, that young man will definitely be playing on Saturdays.
And a testament to the beauty in sports. I mean, this is a room that going into the season that Davion Malloy and Ashton Drayton, those were your guys.
Right.
They go down. Hey,
Next
what are you
man
going to
up.
do?
Right.
Next man up. Evan Daniels has been spectacular. His speed off the charts. Shy Grant's been unbelievable. Jalen Grant in the slot. And this receiving core reaping the benefits of what's been an unbelievable showing. The sophomore QB, Kaimani Clary.
Well, and for Grant, it's simply performing at the highest level. again, there's different levels for everyone. However, when you're a college coach, you're trying to see those guys play against top-notch talent as well. So for Grant to be able to just take his talents and put it on a bigger stage. Goose Creek, as we mentioned, a long history of outstanding football players that have gone on to play in the NFL, play at the or the Power 5 level. This is where you want to be, and this is what you want to be able to, again, just show the world what you can do. I've been very impressed with Mr. Grant tonight.
These are the nights in the games as fans are still trickling in to John Fulmer Field, Goose Creek High School, senior night, a region champion on the line. The winner wins the region. And tonight, these teams battling it out for the Golden Goose. Markel Holman sweating it out. He's been carrying this night offense. 3rd and 6. Goose Creek extending that lead to 11 after another deep ball. This feels like a must-need first down pickup.
It is, because you definitely don't want to give the ball back to Goose Creek here in the first half. They're red hot. They're in rhythm, and that's a big first down catch by Stratford.
Jacob Deacon, Mr. Reliable for another West Shore home first down. America's most admired home remodeling brand. Jake Deacon, who had his first career high school touchdown a week ago. By the way, talked to his family. He was absolutely incredible. About a 5.2 GPA for Mr. Deacon.
Yeah,
We're going to see him as a scholar athlete next season without question. And as this season has progressed, so crucial in the run game, he is Mr. Reliable with the hands.
Well, in church, your go-to is the deacon. Well, in the Stratford offense, your go-to is to Mr. Deacon as well. So
that's why you're the best in the business. You're talking about best in the low country. You better have a conversation that starts with Markel Holman. You think he's scared of contact?
Dude, he's out there punishing people. Like, he's looking for contact. We had a great conversation with Danny McDaniel, and he talked about just how happy and proud he was of Mario Anderson when he was at Stratford and what he's doing now at South Carolina. It seems like Mr. Harrell has that same type of just that attitude. Like, he runs angry. Like, he's looking to make something happen. He's run hard tonight, and that's what's really kept this Stratford team in the game here in the first half.
This summer, he was winning strength competitions. First team all-strength member was Markel Holman. But want to talk about speed. Jakin Davis keeps it and dashes for about a 38-yard pickup. It's Holman, it's Davis, and all night long the Knights just absolutely tearing it up on the ground.
I mean, I've heard of Batman and Robin being the best 1-2 punch. These two tonight, the speed of Davis. I mean, did you see him outrun the linebackers as well? Great fake there and then just off the field. Nice job, high, tight with the football. Tried to split those two, couldn't quite do it. Almost headed for his 3rd touchdown of the night. But right now, what you don't want to do, Jack, you don't want to score too early. Take as much time off this clock. You don't want to give the ball back to Goose Creek because they're a quick strike offense.
They go back on the ground. Markel Holman. The 38-yard run from Jakin Davis takes the Knights back to the DEC equipment rental red zone. And you're right, Batman and Robin and Batman, you guys decided which one is which, but right now, man, it's an absolutely beautiful duo between Davis and Holman. It all starts up front again. From left to right, DJ Crawford, Landon Stradcutter, Ben Jordan, TJ Bryant, and Wes Snowden leading the way. Because when your quarterback runs for $153 in the first half, something's going well.
Yeah, just keep doing what you've been doing.
And it's Davis again, looking for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the half, and he's got it. $153, make it $159. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns, and it's why he is the dual threat quarterback that everyone's talking about in the low country.
He made that look easy. Credit to that offensive line again. Nice job of faking to his tailback and just on the left side, got at the end zone. You knew he was going to in the end zone, fall forward, and that's a huge touchdown for the Stratford Knights. And if I'm not mistaken, Jack, I believe Stratford gets the ball to start the second half, so that's almost a back-to-back touchdown there because they'll get the ball to start the second half. But, however, there's still 47 seconds left, and as we've seen, this quick strike fun and gun run offensive Goose Creek, that's plenty of time for Mr. Cleary to get the ball down the field.
Well, I don't know if we've had a more exciting first half on our Friday night rival slate. At 28-24,
You and I.
Yeah, well,
you and Dez, that Fort Dorchester game against Gaffney was
in 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. It was bonkers. Gaffney, the juggernaut in the upstate, and obviously Fort Dorchester, perennial powerhouse in the lowest half. But this is an all-time first half.
Yes.
You got a quarterback that's run for $160 and 3 tutters.
Just big play after big play. Both quarterbacks putting on a show. Both teams with outstanding running backs. Both teams' offensive lines, doing a phenomenal job. So at the half, if you're a defense coordinator, listen, man, we just got to get one stop. We just got to stop them one time and get the ball back to our offense, and that should be enough.
That's a booming kick from Enzo Mori. We told you a 93% touchback ratio. And he's not even giving Goose Creek a chance with Evan Daniels waiting back there.
47 seconds, 3 timeouts, and Mr. Cleary is my quarterback? Oh, yes. Because Stratford is going to play that prevent defense because they don't want anyone to get behind them. Granted, they've tried that the previous 2 possessions didn't necessarily work their favor. But that just means that now, come on, 2:58 in the first half.
These quarterbacks are doing it in such a different way. That's why it's been the most exciting first half of the year. Hey, Cleary on track to throw for 5 hundo. Davis is going to run for 3 hundo. Like, what are we doing?
It's crazy.
They go to the ground. Malik McGowan.
Oh, boy.
They're in that prevent defense, and that's going to be the easiest 10-yard pickup of the year for Malik McGowan.
But I'm telling you, if that defense starts to drop, and that middle of that field is wide open with the precision that Cleary has, he'll be downfield in no time.
3 timeouts, so you can attack the middle of the
field. Exactly. That play just took, 6 seconds?
Well, at the bottom of the screen is Shai Grant and Evan Daniels. At the top, hiding away was Jalen Grant. The big tight end freshman Micah Adams, as Goose Creek lines up in that pistol set. Appears we have an official timeout from our back line judge. I don't see a penalty flag, but a conversation to be had with head coach Jason Winstead.
Is it with the clock? Yeah, because it looks like they're going to the coach on the sideline who has a headset so they can speak with someone up here to let them know.
It'd be kind of cool if they could talk to us.
Yeah, or Trooper Bob wants to, lend them his mic.
Services. You're all over it. They are going to put a couple more seconds on the clock.
Make your way down to the flagpole. Jose Ochoa, please head to the flagpole.
And right now, you're Danny, no, let the clock run. Yeah, no, let the clock run.
There's 37 on the game clock. They just flashed 40 seconds up. If you are Denny McDaniel, your team's 3-6, 2-1 of the region. A win tonight, their first region championship in 17 years. My question to you defensively, they're going to have to make a big play. It was our Cruz Chevy key to the game. An offense that doesn't make mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over. Defensively, what do you see? What's the adjustment?
One of the few positive plays the defense has had tonight is when they applied pressure. We talked about the fact that Goose Creek's offensive line has done a nice job of creating a clean pocket for Cleary, so they got to get some pressure on him. But more importantly, you can't let guys get behind you.
We go back to the ground. McGowan picks up about 7. The clock's still running, and with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised with how easy that Cleary throws the football. It's almost like coaches Winstead is content just going into the locker room.
Well, they go back to the ground, this time about a 9-yard pickup. He'll be pushed out of bounds at around the midfield mark. With 15 seconds to go, they just burned roughly about 27 seconds, give or take.
I'm really surprised because you could have called that play after the timeout, especially if you're not going to throw the football and allow yourself an opportunity for a big play. So, interesting strategy there by Coach Winstead. And as we always say, Jack, those football coaches down on the field, they've forgotten more football than, I'll ever know. But just an interesting strategy there, especially when you have a great quarterback like Cleary.
He's got over 258 in the first half. And you can see there, it looks like he was trying to draw him off sides. We're going to run that play clock all the way down and make a audible at the line. 15 to go in the second quarter. He's joining the backfield. They'll hand off again to Malik McGowan. He cuts it back upfield and be tackled at around the 46. I think we're both surprised upstairs as it looks Goose Creek will allow the clock to wind down. The end of the first half. And a roller coaster of a first half leaves us all a little speechless as the Gators lead by 4. Talk about explosiveness on both sides of the offense. Not wanting to make a mistake at the end of the first half, he'll allow his sophomore quarterback, Manny Clary, to feel on top of the world after throwing for 260 in the first half. We should have Coach Winstead with our third member of the crew, Trooper Bob. Trooper Bob, let's hear about Coach Winstead and the Gators.
Coach, we just got done with the first half. You've got the lead. Can you sum up the first half for us?
Yeah, I mean, great job on our offense. Defensively, we got to shore something up. We got to figure something out. A couple of special teams breakdowns, but, very happy with our offense right now.
You had some long passes because they gave you some touchdowns. What else would you like to see from your offense there?
We're going to score every time tonight. They just need to keep moving the ball.
Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half. There you guys have it. Big crowd here tonight out here at Goose Creek. No one's left. Everyone's just going to the concession stand now, but beautiful night for football. We still got a big second half. Good game for both teams. Send it back to you guys.
Well, couldn't have said it better without Coach Winstead. What are you looking for your offense? We're just going to keep on rolling. An offensive first half for the ages. 28-24, the Gators lead the Knights. Someone's going home with a golden goose tonight. Don't go anywhere. A second half for the making coming up right after this halftime report.
Welcome to the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report, empowering people through full-mouth dental implants.
Each week, the Thumbs Up guys are proud to highlight a scholar athlete from each participating school. The student select will have an opportunity at the end of the season to win a $5,000 scholarship. Tonight's scholar athletes are first from the visiting Stratford Knights. It's Silas Carr. We saw him a week ago. He's still our guy this week with that 4.689 GPA. A two-sport athlete is Silas Carr, but dominating in the classroom as well. He's been a 2-year starter on the football team, also a starter with the track and field squad as well. Or a senior year, just a season ago, he had 26 tackles and 4 of them for a loss in the trenches. Silas Carr has been that guy. But in the off the field, in the classroom, you can see a readings buddy mentor at the elementary school down the street, a member of the Beta and National Honor Society, and he also coaches Pee Wee football in the area as well. Congratulations to Silas Carr. For Goose Creek, it's Elizabeth Sosa with a GPA that I didn't even know could go that high. A 5.119 GPA. Elizabeth, a stud in the swimming pool. She was a 5A state competitor in the 100-meter back and the 100-meter free just a season ago. She was a Goose Creek girls team captain and a member of the region championship squad on the 100-meter freestyle. In the community, Elizabeth, member of the GCHS National Beta Society and in NHS, and also volunteers with Soldiers and Angels and the JROTC Donation Drive Coordinator. Congratulations to Elizabeth and Silas, this week's 2 Scholar athletes.
Our final week leading up to the culmination when we give the big check to the Scholar Athlete of the Year, the Thumbs Up guys presenting this year, Brandon Dawson and Jeff Ward. And we are talking high school athletes all year long and high school student athletes all year long. Let's talk a little bit about you and your business. What do the Thumbs Up guys do, and how important is it for our community to know?
Well, we help people who've been injured, whether it's in a car wreck, if they've fallen, if they're on the premises somewhere, if they've been hurt at work. You know, anytime someone's been hurt, we want them to call us, see if we can help them in some way.
How important is it to be entrenched in this community? I know you're from this community. How important is it to kind of be giving back to the community and be entrenched and know what's going on in it?
You know, born and raised here, you know, it means more than anything to be able to give back to this community. You know, we're filling, you know, in big shoes in David Ayler's place, so we're honored to be able to step in and continue the legacy that he started in this program. He was such a great community-driven, focused law firm. So the fact that we can step in those shoes, continue this scholarship, continue to be community-focused, really is an honor for us. So we're just, you know, really, really happy and lucky to be sponsors this year.
Yeah, it's been great to have you guys all season long. It's been wonderful to get to know them and to see them live on that legacy. It's been over a decade now of giving out these scholarships. So many success stories. For the Thumbs Up guys, I'm Scott Eisberg, and that will do it for this year's Scholar Athlete. Can't wait to present the winner after the season.
We'll be right back with more from the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report. Welcome to the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report, empowering people through full mouth dental implants.
Fans, it's your last opportunity this season. We're giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to go vote for tonight's Delta Force All-Stars Cheer the Game. Log on to abcnews4.com/poll and vote for either of tonight's cheer squad. We've got Stratford, we got Goose Creek. It's a huge rivalry. So go cast a vote for the Delta Force All-Stars Cheer the Game. Results later on tonight in the fourth quarter. First, the visitors, the Stratford Knights.
Red, black, and white. Let's fight. Red, black, and white. Let's fight.
Go Foad, it's a huge rivalry. The Delta Force Athletics Cheer of the Night.
We'll be right back with more from the Doctor's Implants Halftime Report.
Work is a medical search for nurse. April Limehouse is the escort by her mother, Mom Johnson. After high school, she plans to attend a four-year university majoring in media and entertainment arts. Bonnie Brugman is being escorted by his parents, Sandy Brugman and Maureen Brugman. After high school, he plans to study computer engineering. T. Sanders, being escorted by her professional teacher, Joshua Bolton. After high school, she plans to major in music.
And we got scores from the other two big games, so Jack and I can talk about that as well.
Moses Mateo, being escorted by his head teacher, Charles Fletcher. After high school, he plans on attending culinary school. We will now recognize our senior student athletic trainers on our school medicine program. First, we have Will Farr, being escorted by her parents, Martin Farr and Chris Elizabeth. After high school, she plans on pursuing a career in sports medicine. Mia Coleman, being escorted by her parents, Marcel Castaneda and Francisco Coleman. After high school, she plans to attend a four-year university major in health, minor in business administration, later continuing her education to become a psychiatrist.
It's Preferred Home Services Final Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, 28-24 for the Golden Goose Trophy for a region championship. Tight first half and an offensive clinic. Let's dive into these highlights, because Lord knows there's a lot of them.
Listen, if you're looking for a defensive clinic, this is not the game to watch. Big play after big play as the Gators got on the board first after a turnover on the Stratford special teams to take the early lead, and then it was Mr. McClary, the sophomore sensational quarterback, throwing dimes to wide open wide receivers. Goose Creek up 14-0. But Jake and Davis say not so fast, my friends, as he takes off around the right side. And got the Knights on the board for the first time, cutting that lead down to 14-7. Then the Goose Creek special teams, they gave it back. And the Stratford Knights able to get a tush push as Davis scored his second touchdown of the night to tie it up at 14. But back came the Gator offensive aerial arsenal. Another big play from McClary to his number 2, well, at least tonight, number 1 wide receiver for the Gators. And that put the Gators back on top, 21-14. As you see, Clary once again had wide receivers all night, Jack, running wide open. That's right, Mr. Grant, Swan Grant, with big play after big play to put the Gators up 28-14, but back comes the Knights. Davis refuses to lose as he takes off around the left side. Scores not his first, not his second, but his third tub of the night. And that made our halftime score 28-24. The Goose Creek Gators on top.
As we dive into our Doctor's Implants halftime report, our halftime stats tonight. I mean, when you look at these are full game stats. The 91-yard toss to Shy Grant, the longest from scrimmage from Goose Creek this year. He added a 55-yard pass and catched it back to Shy Grant. So 258 in the air from Kamani Clary, 231 on the ground. Dual threat? It might be an understatement for these two QBs.
But here's the funny part, Jack. How are both offenses averaging a first down every time they get the ball? 11 yards for Goose Creek, and 9 for Stratford. Obviously, a bunch of big plays. They're both teams with mishaps in the special teams department. But, a very effective, efficient first half here. Time of possession about the same. And that's why we're got a 4-point game right here. And, of course, the Stratford Knights will get the football to start the second half.
I said defensively, the best defense we've seen tonight have been those penalty markers that have gotten them behind the line of scrimmage. Outside of one missed field goal from Stratford, they were unable to capitalize on a touchdown after a big-time return from Elijah Riley. Outside of that, offensively, both teams getting exactly what they want. But what was so interesting, down 14, Stratford didn't stress. They didn't need to beat you in the air. They stayed on the ground, and now they only trail by just 4 in what's going to be what we can only imagine an eventful second half.
Well, and you have to think about it. Like you mentioned, nobody stressed, no one panicked. They just kind of kept their composure and did what they do best. We talked about it. Who has the football last may win this football game, but also, Jack, who makes the least amount of mistakes in the second half, whether it be penalties or turnovers, that will be huge as well.
We saw only 2 turnovers in the first half. This is an offense from Goose Creek that doesn't turn the ball over, but 2 miscues in the special teams game, both muffed punts in a weird way. We saw one from Goose Creek that bounced off the heel of Ravenel. Both teams able to convert into points. Goose Creek with 7, Stratford with just 3 off of that turnover. As we get ready to crown not only a Golden Goose trophy tonight. Tonight's trophy and Scholar Athlete plaques at the end of the season are all provided by All-American Awards, helping Charleston recognize excellence since 1993. Tonight's trophy presentation is going to be loaded. We're going to see I promise, guys, it's a real Golden Goose, not a live one, but an actual awesome Golden Goose trophy, plus our All-American Award, and we're going to be handing out a region championship as well.
Well, the player of the game might be the defensive player who comes up with the lone tackle of the night, because both offenses have been flying up and down the field tonight. But obviously a special thank you to All-American Awards all season long for providing our teams with their championship trophies here on Friday Night Rivals.
Well, after our trophy presentation, make sure to switch over to News 4. Go get complete highlights from all the action around the Lowcountry with News 4 Sports Director Scott Eisberg and Webb Wright. Right at Rivals on News 4 starts at 11:05. They might need the A block, the B block, the C block to show all the highlights from tonight.
Well, I think it's a divide and conquer night tonight. We got this one here, 28-24. Of course, the other big game of the night is Somerville and Fort Dorchester. I believe Somerville was at the half there. And then the other third game would be Lucy Beckham and James Allen. All 3 games to decide region championships tonight. I can tell you, Jack, right now with 6:40 left to go in the third quarter, James Allen leads Lucy Beckham 18-7. So we've seen both of those teams this season. Both teams were undefeated, not giving up a lot of points. A lot of good high school football being played in the Lowcountry here tonight.
So much talent and a lot of talent on this guy's sideline. We're going to kick it down to Trooper Bob. He's with Denny McDaniel and his thoughts of the first half.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here in the field with Coach McDaniel. Coach, what was your message to your team at halftime? You still got a lot of football left.
We got about 24 minutes of football left, but we have just shot ourselves in the foot offensively with penalties. I mean, right now, we get down inside the red zone, we screw up sleeves on the vest right now. We just shoot ourselves with these stupid penalties, jumping off sides and holding. And defensively, we're just giving up big play. I mean, they scored on 3 big plays on us, throwing the ball down the field, and we're just simple cover 3. We're just not opening up and backpedaling like we're supposed to. So we definitely have opportunities there. We just got to capitalize on those opportunities.
Last week, your team came alive in the second half. What is something that you want to see mostly? If you can pick one thing out of your offense for this second half.
Eliminate penalties, but stay focused. We talked about last couple weeks. Our theme has been being focused. Finish up. In practice every period. Every quarter, every drive. Every play. You can't even let the play before. We just got to stay focused and like see us come out focused, eliminate those penalties because we're moving the football. But we get down inside the red zone twice. Came up with 0 points just because we can't. We're shooting ourselves with the foot. Missed a field goal down there. Down there, and we just got to capitalize on those opportunities we get inside. Defensively, we just got to stay in our coverage and trust what we see and make tackles. It's very frustrating right now for us. Right now because we're definitely in this ball game, and it's a region championship game. We got to play better.
Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half. I'll send it back to you guys. You heard it from the coach. 32 seconds left.
Push comes to shove in the second half. Will be the 5th straight region championship for Jason Winstead. Will be the 1st region championship for Denny McDaniel. Don't go anywhere. When we come back after the short break, we got second half action. So we welcome you back into Goose Creek High School, Charles B. Gibson Stadium, John Fulmer Field. Well, if you like scoring, this has been a night for you. Goose Creek Gators with a 4-point lead heading into the second half. A rivalry. So much historic tradition. Jason Winstead of the Gators and Denny McDaniel of Stratford ushering their new era of success. Just 24 minutes away from a region championship. Foot meets leather, and we are underway. It's going to be caught at around the 25-yard line. Receiving it was Freddie Alston of Stratford. He's going to be tackled and taken down at around the 30-yard line. That's where the Knights will take over.
Nice tackle made by Goose Creek. Looks like it was Doran Smith and also Terry Scott on the stop. Speaking of stop, let's see which defense can get some stops in the second half. Not a lot of success, but again, give credit to both offenses. They were dynamic, Jack. Offensive line, skill position. Of course, we can't say enough about the two quarterbacks tonight, putting on just an all-out display of how to run football teams. And again, sensational sophomores for both of them.
Got the final numbers on that first half. 10 of 12 was Kaimani Clary. As you see, Jake and Davis back on the ground. They bust it to the outside. Seen a little bit of that. How about a 28-yard pickup?
These are like PlayStation numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking, when you play video games, you can put up numbers of that nature. That's what we're seeing here tonight. It's borderline silly.
Well, I was
we're seeing.
I was bragging on Kaimani Clary, who threw for 10 for 12, 258 in the air, and his counterpart, Jake and Davis, 5 of 9 for 40 in the air. But how about 8 carries and now $126 on the ground from your quarterback? An RPO set, and Goose Creek has had no answer when Davis and Holman are in the backfield together.
And that's the key. When you have that running component, it doesn't allow you to focus on the quarterback. So Davis has done a great job of reading that defense, seeing if those ends are crashing down and then just pulling it, or if they're playing him to run, handing it off to his big back, who can obviously punish and distribute some hard hits as he hits the line of scrimmage.
Clary was 258 with 3 touchdowns. Davis, 128 on the ground with 3 touchdowns on the ground. Both so electric in their own way. And in the second half, Stratford sticking with the run game. An angry run from Markel Holman as his helmet pops up. It appears he'll be a few yards short, about a 3-yard pickup. That'll lead to a 3rd and 2.
You know, some people just look like running backs. Markel Holman just looks like a running back. You know, like that, fold those broad shoulders, and obviously he's got the speed to go with the strength. That's just a young man that's just, let's just say, trying to get his college education paid for.
Yeah. If you've watched in the last 2 weeks, without question, Holman, 13 carries for $131 in the first half. Equally as excellent. They go back to the ground with a backup running back. Another angry run from Stratford. It doesn't matter who's back there. That time, how about the junior linebacker, Darrell Holmes? Good enough for a Mr. Sparky first down. It doesn't matter who you put in that backfield. They were all running with angry intentions.
I mean, when you got them big, look at that big pulling guard right there. Looks like that was it number 64? It looked like Mr. Stradcutter. I mean, you get that big guy on the move, Jack. Come on. Like, if you're a defensive, do you really want to see that running right at you at full speed? Great job by the Stratford offensive line.
He puts it, they got a Holman, and he pulls it this time. Goose Creek makes the adjustment. In the backfield was the middle linebacker, the Mike, Deron Smith.
Nice job of reading the offensive play that time. I guess the Goose Creek Gator defense had enough. Good job. Playing discipline, staying in their lanes, and whenever you can have 3 and 4 black helmets at the football, that's a good formula for how to stop this Stratford offense.
A great play by Smith, big build, 6 feet, 200. But you're seeing the push right now with Stratford, just dominating in the A-gaps, as you saw Landon Stradcutter again with a huge hole up front.
Them some grown men up there.
Grown men. Quick little out route. Good enough to get about 4 yards back. It'll be 3rd and 8. Landon Stradcutter, a senior left guard, 6'2", 277. He's been a 3-year starter for Denny McDaniel, who is an offensive lineman, kind of guru, with offers from Limestone, Erskine, and Newberry. Stradcutter's got a lot of football in front of him.
And both offensive effective, but Stratford's more methodical. Like, they kind of carve you up with short passes and big-time runs, where obviously the Goose Creek offense, they're hitting you with the big plays. So, hey, both methods work. We'll see if the defense can come up with a stop on 3rd and 5.
It says 3rd and 5. It looks like 7 as they're looking for a wheel route to the outside, and Holman never looked at him. Goose Creek did a great job of getting into the backfield. It was Duron Smith and a whole flurry of Gators. Cameron Daughtery makes a huge play to rush it, and that's going to force out the Stratford special teams. The ball's spotted right now at around the 31. That means we're looking at a 48-yard field goal for Tyler Stamen. We know he's got the leg. Good snap, good hole, low kick. It's going to be wide left. Goose Creek's defense bend doesn't break. They're able to get the first stop of the second half, a rare first half stop. With 8:43 to go in the third quarter, Goose Creek will get the ball at around the Stratford 31. They lead by 4. As we welcome you back in this week's South Carolina Veteran of the Week is a previous honoree, Staff Sergeant Charles Lin. Staff Sergeant Charles Lin is a Taiwanese immigrant who enlisted into the active duty U.S. Air Force in July of 2000. He joined the air transportation career field in that same year. He naturalized after September 11th as a U.S. citizen and quickly rose through the ranks to become a staff sergeant in less than 3 years. To learn more about Charles Lin, visit scdva.sc.gov/Veteran of the Week. You can also nominate someone to be recognized as well. South Carolina Veteran of the Week is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Veterans Affairs. And again, thank you to South Carolina Veteran of the Week and Staff Sergeant Charles Lin.
Yeah, you can't say it enough, Jack. Active duty veterans, those that protect and allow us the freedom to do things like Friday Night Rivals as we all see what's going on around the world. Very thankful for all of those. So thank you to Mr. Lin and all else who serve and protect.
True. Great tackle in the backfield. That was Josh Fawcett. His 4th tackle of the night goes for a loss. He's able to carry the dangerous Malik McGowan. I think the first time tonight he was tackled in the backfield.
Come on, Kingston Hughes, 6'4", 335. With feet like that, able to move, get out, be the lead blocker. Again, someone looking for free education.
Yeah, with that size, can't teach size. McGowan cuts it back up. About a pick yard of 6, as it looks like he'll make it about a 3rd and 6.
And if it's one thing that Goose Creek knows, it's offensive linemen. We talked earlier about, Brandon Shell, who played in the NFL, had a really long career. I think at last he was with the Jets.
He was with the Jets. I think he's a free agent now. He might be on the practice squad of the Jets.
Of course, his uncle Art Shell, an NFL Hall of Famer.
Cleary on 3rd down. He finds his man. That was Jalen Grant. That was Grant's 2nd catch of the night. He's up to 22 yards, receiving another Mr. Sparky first down. Are we surprised that Cleary delivered it right on the numbers?
Yeah, the way he throws the football, and again, nice soft touch on that. I tell you what, who's getting the most of their sponsorship tonight is Mr. Sparky. Because, boy, I tell you, between them and the West Shore, we've had a lot of first downs here tonight.
A lot of first downs as McGowan's tackled in the backfield. You're seeing a resurgence from the Stratford defensive line. Malik McGowan ran for 147 yards in the first half. We were so enamored by Clary in the air, you forget that McGowan's on track to run for 300.
Yeah.
And right now, Stratford's defense is looking to really take it personally.
Nice stop there by Darryl Holmes, and both defenses trying to come out and set the tone here in the second half after a rough first half.
Well, how about the sack in the backfield? Jameel Gadsden, the senior, just bull rushes the right tackle. The second sack of the night for Stratford leads to a 3rd and 16 and a crucial play from Gadsden.
Jack, you asked me in the first half what they could do, and I said they have to bring the pressure. They have to get pressure on Clary because he's just too comfortable back there. And as we see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red hats, 1 black helmet. Clary, 1 can't beat 5. Great pursuit by the Stratford defense.
He said roll call to the football.
See you there.
3rd and 16. This has been the bugaboo of Stratford all night. Can they get off the field? Clary looking for McGowan on the wheel route, and he's got him yet again. The touch, impeccable. Malik McGowan, his second catch of the night, is a big one. A second first down.
Listen, I see about 20 quarterbacks that play on Sundays that don't have the precision that Clary has here throwing the football. Again, over the defense, drops it in between the linebacker and the secondary on a huge 3rd down conversion. The drive will continue for the Gators.
I don't know. Does he have a pulse? I mean, he looks like this is just backyard football. Yeah. He's just having fun.
But once again, when Stratford does not put the pressure on him, when he's comfortable, he gets his feet set, he can go through his reads, we're starting to see the results of that. So this young man absolutely is a special talent. Boy, I can't wait to see what he does over the next 2 years.
Oh, a little miscommunication. That ball's going to hit the turf. Stepping up in coverage was Andre McMillan in the secondary. Some miscommunication on the outside between Daniels and Clary. And you see Clary's like, hey, man, that don't happen.
But Clary had him. But he threw it ahead. It looked like Daniels almost stopped. Instead, he was wide open because he got him on the double move, or the pump fake, I should say, and just unfortunately led him a little bit too much down the field.
Well, can Stratford get off the field? Everett said he wants to see a little pressure on 3rd down. Do they make an adjustment? They bounce it to the outside. McGowan's met immediately. How about a huge tackle on the outside? Josh Fawcett with a huge hit to force the 4th down.
Yeah, I think they were trying to catch Stratford sleeping. Fawcett was ready for it. The 5'8" senior coming up with the big stop on 3rd down. And I don't know. They're in plus territory, Jack, so will they go for it on 4th down? I mean, heck, when you have a quarterback like Clary, why not? But no, it looks like they're going to send the punt team out instead and try to make this Stratford team drive the length of the field.
Owen Ferez out to punt it away. Is there a little bit of, I don't know, you got to trick up your sleeves. You can see Stratford special teams is ready for it. A couple ball hawks in the wings.
And plus the miscues for both teams probably don't want to take any chances.
That was Andre McMillan. He almost blocked it. This punt, not one of the betters of the night from Ferris. And Stratford will take over at the 35. 2 stops to start the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break with them down on the field. It's Goose Creek 28, Stratford 24. The defenses have arrived. Well, it's senior night for everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, a special guest announcement. That's actually the Zofro, Everett. Zoltan Osborne, the starting quarterback of the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. It appears taking some pictures of his girlfriend who's celebrating senior night. Friendly reminder, go vote on that Delta Force All-Stars cheer of the game. She clearly a member of the Goose Creek cheer team, but that was the last LowCountry superstar at quarterback. We have two growing in front of us tonight.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, that's just true love right there because he played at Fort Dorchester. You would think he'd be at Fort Dorchester, Somerville, but he's supporting his girlfriend. That's a smart man, and you're right. He's having a pretty good season there at Charleston Southern thus far.
They drop it off in the flats again to Jake Deacon. There's a relationship between Davis and Deacon. Deacon, come on. That's the Travis Kelsey of high school tight ends right there. Dangerous out in the flats.
Yeah, he's been a catching guru here over the last 2 weeks. As you mentioned, got his first touchdown last week, and it seems like every time the ball's in his hand, good things seem to happen. Speaking of girlfriends, boy, T. Kels goes off when T. Swift is in the building. Like, his splits are crazy when she's in attendance.
We got Zoltan Osborne. You said it was true love dating a Goose Creek cheerleader. Delta Force All-Star cheer of the game. But you're right. The T. Kels and T. Swift mania. I can't believe this is the first time it's made it into our broadcast. Congratulations, you guys have snuck into high school football.
I'm just saying, I mean, if I'm Roger Goodell and I need a halftime show for the Super Bowl, I can assure you I'm making one call. Hey, Travis, put Taylor on the phone. Does she want to be the halftime performer for the Super Bowl?
I got a weird feeling they're not going to have too much difficulty filling that Super Bowl slate. As Stratford's rolling, we're going to kick it down to our third member of the crew, Trooper Bob.
Hey, guys.
Troop, what you got for us?
Yeah, if you guys could see right there, the offensive line, they're over there watching the game they're watching the replays that were coming back from the previous plays. Coach walked over to him and said, guys, we need to run the ball. So there's this emphasis on running the ball, not just passing the ball in this game. Another thing I want to tell you, outside of football, ABC News just saw their push alert. The shooter in Maine was found dead. I know that city has been heartbroken over the last couple of days, but they've also been inside. And so, again, I don't have any details, but the shooter has been found dead up there in Maine.
Well, Bob, Trooper Bob, we appreciate the insight. It has been a horrific 48 hours in the Northeast. Glad that there might be some resolution, some healing.
Yeah, just an awful situation. And obviously, thoughts and prayers out to all those who were affected by the shooting in Maine.
Back to the action, as Trooper Bob mentioned, Goose Creek looking to establish the run as they were held to a 4th and down, punted it away. The running game has been no problem. The young men in red helmets tonight, they stick on the ground. He dumps it off. Jake Deacon, charge to the legs. Can he find his second high school touchdown? It looks like he's going to be brought down at around the 1 yard line.
The old
RPO, and he sticks it right in the gut.
The old tight end dump. Put it in the belly of the back, pull it out, and just dump it down to your tight end. That basically is running a seam route. Quick, Mr. Reliable.
The tush push back in action. Jakin Davis hunting for his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. We await an announcement. On the first initial surge, it looked like the ball may have crossed the plane.
Got the helmets popped off.
I was going to say they
get a little toasty down there.
I was going to say a little chippy. The defenses have really elevated their game in the second half. A little bit of a delay. Oh, but sweet end zone. Jakin Davis, his 4th rushing touchdown of the night, gives Stratford their first lead.
Must be something about the jersey number 1. I mean, you got Jalen Hurts for the Eagles with the tush push. Here's 1. Now you got Jakin Davis. He says, not 1, not 2, not 3, but give me 4 tubs. His second tush push of the night. And Stratford Knights have come roaring into Fulman Field, and they take their first lead of the night.
Calm, cool, collected is number 1. Give an assist to Jake Deacon. We see Dallas Goddard in the Philly tush push with a little bit of an assistance. You saw in that replay, Jake Deacon did a great job of getting behind big number 1 and pushing him in for his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. He puts dual threat quarterback.
Speaking of dual and back two, he's trying to be back-to-back Friday Night Rivals Players of the Week. Of course, he won it last week in the win against Berkeley, and right now he's the leader in the clubhouse for it this week. But yes, big throws, big finishes. Coach McDaniel talked about it, finishing off drives, being able to capitalize once you get inside the red zone. That's what Stratford's done here. In the second half, that's been obviously relatively quiet compared to what we saw in the first half. First half, all offense. Second half, thus far, all defense. But the Goose Creek Gators take advantage, the Stratford Knights take advantage of the not-so-good punt by Goose Creek to take their first lead this evening.
Stratford gets ready to boot it away. Tyler Stamett and the kickoff team. Can it be the ever-dangerous speedster Evan Daniels to try to get Goose Creek back into this ball game? He'll watch it sail into the end zone. And Goose Creek will look to reclaim their lead at the 20 with a $1.19. You see a conversation. Here's the leader in defensive end, Cameron Daugherty, having a conversation with Michael Nelson's band, maybe a little animated, maybe a little emotional.
Well, it's got to be frustrating, because you do what you're supposed to do. You have one breakdown, and right now the Stratford offense is going to the Goose Creek defense, but the Goose Creek offense is going to the Stratford defense. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how bad you played up to that fourth quarter. You just have to make one play, get one stop. You have to have that next play mentality. You can't do anything about it now. Now let's see if the offense can answer.
Well, Goose Creek, if it works for Stratford, why not for us? The first we've said the name of Micah Adams, the freshman tight end who's got great size and physique, 6 feet, 230 pounds. That's his 8th catch of the season for Micah Adams, and good enough for another Mr. Sparky first down.
Just get those playmakers in the flats, let them make a play, get them in space.
A bobbled snap, doesn't matter. He finds Jalen Grant on the outside. Kaimani Clary delivers a strike for a 12-yard pickup to Jalen Grant.
Jalen Grant, as you can see, wanting to pick up the tempo, not allow that defensive Stratford to get set. And they are going to go up-tempo here for the Gators.
48 to go in the third quarter. They go to the ground. It's Malik McGowan. He cuts back up inside. A 14-yard pickup. McGowan, he's up to 184 yards on the ground tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to match the rushing yards of Mr. Jacob over on the Stratford offensive side. So, Mr. Davis, right now, both teams executing 25 for 151 for Malik McGowan.
He's got a touchdown on the night. This time, it's going to be their dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, that definitely was a hole. You can tell the Stratford offensive, the sidelines, very animated. I just happened to see it as well. It literally looked like their defender got yanked by the jersey and shoulder pads and brought to the ground. I didn't see a flag.
I was going to say, I see no penalty flag. Kudos to the Stratford secondary for stepping up. That's a cover sack without question. 2nd and 9. Clary's joined to the backfield with McGowan. They will run it up the gut, and this time met in the backfield. Josh Fawcett, have yourself a second half. The Mike linebacker stepping up in a huge way. You don't think he wants a region championship? Flex on him, number 18.
And you can see the difference, the adjustments Stratford has made defensively. That secondary now, those safeties, they're about 15 yards off the ball, so they're determined to keep everything in front of them. Don't let anybody get behind you. And, Jack, we got 12 minutes left. Someone's going to be a region champion. Who will it be?
Goose Creek looking for their 5th in 6 years. Stratford looking for their 1st in 17 years. 12 minutes for a region championship. Stratford leads by 3 on tonight's Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. 12 minutes for a 4th quarter. Where else would you rather be? We welcome you. We welcome you back into Goose Creek High School. The Lowcountry's got a treat tonight. It's Preferred Home Services Parent Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet. 31-28. We kick it back down to Trooper Bob as we get this fourth quarter underway.
Hey guys, I don't know if you saw the players running over to that tent just a couple minutes ago right after Stratford scored. That's because some players came off the field pretty heated. It actually got into a shoving match among the Goose Creek side where coaches and other players had to come separate those guys. Listen, we need to focus our energy onto the field for the next play. A lot of football left. This is anybody's game. We don't need a fight or anything on the sidelines on either side. I'll send back to you guys.
Well, the Golden Goose Trophy's up for grabs. 12 minutes to go. Mutual respect, but a rivalry that goes back decades. Kaimani Clary and Jacob Davis leaving their imprint as Clary looking to evade a tackler, able to somehow get it in the vicinity of Shy Grant. It falls innocently to the turf. Force a 4th and long. But how about this Stratford up front?
How strong is the sophomore quarterback? Had Stratford Knights hanging on him. Still made a smart decision not to turn the football over and to hold it on. Tried to get rid of it. Not intentional grounding. Smart play. But once again, the Stratford Knights come up with a defensive stop.
You see a little frustration at Clary. Just didn't have the time to step up and deliver downfield. He was looking for Evan Daniels on the go route yet again. But all of a sudden, this defensive front, Tristan Richardson, Otis Gardner, Jameel Gatson, Landon Stradcutter, they're starting to come in life. They're starting to win all those one-on-one battles. As there's a bobbled punt, can he deliver it? Owen Ferreras, he's looking to just somehow find a way to kick it downfield. It'll fly out of bounds at around the 38. A bobbled punt in the third phase. You always ask these coaches, hey, how are we going to look in the third phase? All of a sudden making a huge impact early in the fourth quarter.
And I literally was just about to say, boy, did Goose Creek need a big punt here to give their defense a little breather. So take a look here. Somewhat of a low snap, a one hopper to him, but should have been able to. Right here, I thought was when he should have tried to get rid of it or even throw it down the field. But, yeah, that decision did not work out for Goose Creek. And unfortunately, another special teams mishap gives Stratford a great field position. And you know my philosophy, Jack. Situation like that, first play, go into the end zone.
Take a shot.
Take a shot down the field.
Well, it's been Jake and Davis in the run game. They go back to the ground. It's Markel Holman running angrily. Looked like it'd be a loss. Holman cuts it to the outside, breaks what seemed like 4 to 5 tackles. Might be the most exciting, angry 6-yard runs you'll see in the Lowcountry tonight.
And see, when you have runs like that, that gets your offensive linemen all jacked up because they see their back running and punishing people. So you best believe those offensive linemen, those big hosses up front, they're fired up. They got snot coming out of their nose. They're ready to knock the defensive lineman backward and open up holes for Mr. Davis and the rush attack.
This time a great job up front. There was Cameron Daughtery. We saw him. Trooper Bob mentioned some things going on the sideline. Hey, that happens in emotional ball games. But it was Daughtery, the leader on senior night, to step up and go, hey, we're still right in this football game. He makes a huge play to make sure that Jacob Davis doesn't scamper for another 30-yard run. He forces a 3rd and short. Now can they get off the field? Davis joined the backfield. It's Deacon in motion. He turns and hands straight to Holman. And who is it? Cameron Daughtery. Talk your talk, young man. A huge play in the backfield.
Oh, you talk about fired up. That play had no chance. Great swarming defense by the Goose Creek Gators. Met him at the line of scrimmage. Did not allow any penetration into the back, or I should say into the across the line of scrimmage. So a good stop there by Goose Creek. And a 4th down coming up for the Knights.
I said it was Daughtery. TJ Clary was in there as well. But Malachi Washington was the first down contact. A sophomore, the first we've said his name tonight. Could be a game-changing play as Goose Creek looks to get off the field on 4th down.
Yeah, in these types of situations, as Danny McDaniel's going to talk it over. Obviously, you're not close enough to attempt a field goal. And you have a sensational player like Mr. Davis. I think you have to do an RPO, let him make a decision on what to do with the football.
4th and 4. A huge decision from Denny McDaniel. We're going to take a quick break down on the field. Stratford 31, Goose Creek 28. It'll be 4th and 4 when we come back.
So back right forward. Spot him right.
In the general area near the field goal post.
How big is this thing? There is tradition at the end of the game. He sprint towards the trophy. And it's like that's behind the system. At the end of the day, they'll have the camera and junior Bob over there. That might be our best bet. Might be an awesome shot.
Welcome you back into the Low Country for tonight's Preferred Home Services Friday Night Rattles, driven by Cruise Chevrolet, a family affair on board tonight. It's been a packed out scene, a beautiful night here at John Fulmer Field at Goose Creek High School. They trail 31-28 to rival and crosstown foe, the Stratford Knights. 4th and 4. The ball spotted at the 26. You're looking at what would be a 43-yarder. Denny McDaniel, he sends a sophomore quarterback out to try and convert. Are you trying to draw him off sides, or hey, trust the legs?
I'm doing a RPO to the wide side, the top of the field, and let Davis either run for it or throw it if he has a tight end that's dragging across.
It's Freddie Allison out in motion, and look at the legs. Jakin Davis dancing out to around the 20-yard line. It'll be curious to see where he stepped out of bounds. Won't matter. Don't need a second look. Look at the footwork. Jakin Davis, a crucial first down pickup.
It just simply, that was all Davis that time as he outruns the defender. Nice job. Seemed like Goose Creek had it played well. However, the defensive end just did not get wide enough and allowed Davis to turn the corner, which results in him picking up a first down.
Man, look at the hole on the right side. Markel Holman, about a 6-yard run, but Wes Snowden and a pulling left guard Landon Stratcutter create a huge hole. That 6-yard run, a 6th time tonight. Stratford Rental, TEC Equipment Rental, red zone.
You know these offensive linemen are loving this. Just running the football, run block, getting those pads low, driving that defensive front of Goose Creek, opening these gaping holes for Davis in the run attack of Stratford.
Trips receiver at the top. They got Olsen in motion. They go to Holman behind the A-gap. He runs behind the right guard, T.J. Bryant. Got another West Shore home first down. America's most admired home remodeling brand. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look at the big boys up front eating.
Yeah, like I said, just keep going to the well, because right now Goose Creek is having a lot of difficulty stopping it. And more importantly, if you're Stratford, you got a 3-point lead. Obviously, a score here, a touchdown will make it a 2-possession game. You want to take your time. Take as much time off this clock as you possibly can.
This time, Davis will keep it. He's met in the backfield. I believe that was Cameron Dottery yet again. You see, clapping his hand, trying to will his defense back in the game. He was joined in the backfield by number 56, Andrew Joseph, as well.
And as you can see, Stratford really in no hurry here. Worst case scenario here, Jack, you got to come away with 3. But obviously we've seen some of the kicking game struggle, so I'm Danny McDaniel. Just to be on the safe side, I go to my kicker and say, hey, which hash do you want on? Do you want the middle of the field? So for your third down play, you at least kind of have that in mind, should you not be able to punch it in for a touchdown.
Pair of receivers at the top. Deacon in motion. They run behind Deacon. Davis bounces it to the outside. Not 1, not 2, not 3, and not 4. How about 5 touchdowns from the sophomore quarterback, Jakin Davis? Trident Technical College. They say it's your future, your college.
How about Holman with the block? Look at the read. Watch 31 Holman right here, the lead blocker. Watch this block. Boom! Just drop you into the end zone. Easy touchdown for Davis, untouched. And as you mentioned, his 5th tutty of the night.
You bring up a great point, is that PAT pierces the middle of the uprights. Stratford with a 10-point lead. On the leg of 5 Jacob Davis touchdowns. They lead by 10 with just 7:52 to go. A region championship in 17 years? Well, they're just 8 minutes away. So we welcome you back into Goose Creek High School. It's Preferred Home Services. Friday Night Rivals driven by Crew Chevrolet. For the first time tonight, a 10-point lead from Stratford. And let's see how they did in tonight's Delta Force Athletics Cheer of the Night. Our results for you. Our final time, Week 10, and with a 10-point lead. The Stratford Knights win tonight's Delta Force All-Stars Cheer of the Game with a commanding 75.
Well, they've had a lot to cheer about tonight. Mr. Davis with his 5 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, we've given the Stratford Knights a lot to raise those pom-poms for. So congratulations to the Stratford cheerleaders for winning tonight's Delta Force Cheer of the Game.
So many sponsors to thank. We'll make sure to do so as we roll out tonight. But Delta Force has been with us since Week 1.
Speaking of thanking, Mr. Davis needs to thank Mr. Holman, his teammate, tonight, Jack. You and I were just talking, I mean, between tush pushes and just absolutely putting secondary guys on their heels, he's done a great job tonight.
Hey, this is the first time tonight that a kick will not reach the back of the end zone, and maybe done on purpose. Enzo Mori kicked it to around the 5. That's where the dangerous Evan Daniels received it and was absolutely hammered by Andre McMillan at around the 20. It's where they'll take over. But Everett, we talked about it a little bit in the break. We want to give some flowers. Jacob Davis has run for now $121 on 11 carries, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns.
But as the conversation that we had, Markel Holman's run for 207 tonight and has been crucial in the run blocking game for Davis.
Oh, he's been huge. Also the wide receivers down the field, and, of course, the offensive linemen. All of Davis's success. Speaking of big runs, here come the Gators looking to answer themselves.
Hold your breath. We're not going anywhere. Malik McGowan. Hey, Markel Holman's good. Make sure you talk about me, too. I'm that guy, number 9, Malik McGowan. With that 45-yard run, that'll take him over 200 yards of the night.
Yeah, it's been ground and pound, and also the air attack for both teams tonight. Both teams having just success, being able to do whatever they want to do on offense. And you're right. This Goose Creek offense said, we're not done. We got a little left to go, as well as there's still plenty of time left in this football game.
And McGowan's not done yet. West Shore home, another first down, and I shorted McGowan, too. It wasn't a 45-yard run. It was a 55-yard run. But at next 10, at 65, and it's got Malik McGowan at 226 rushing yards tonight. This is unbelievable.
This is PlayStation game numbers here. This is what they play on the video games now, these types of numbers. An offensive explosion by both teams tonight.
Man, a backup running back? Hey, I'm running just as hard. Trayvon Goss was hit around the 2, keeps churning those legs thanks to the help behind Kingston Hughes and Mauricio Summers. They push him forward for another 4, but a penalty on the field. Let's see if it'll negate the gritty run from Trayvon Goss.
As we talked about all night long, this is a rivalry game. You refuse to lose. Guys are leaving it all on the field. It's the final regular season game, a region title on the line, and your arch rival. Yes, guys are giving max effort here tonight, as it looks like the penalty will go against Stratford.
Got a face mask on Stratford.
Not sure if you can hear our head official at home, but he did signify a face mask. They'll tack on another 15 after the big run from Trayvon Goss.
Well, actually, in this situation, Jack, I think this is just outside. We're half the distance.
Excuse me. It will take them in the TEC Equipment Rental Red Zone, the friendliest name. And Equipment Rental, a great point E. And now just 5 yards away. They've done it in less than 50 seconds of game time. They go back to the ground. McGowan running behind his big right tackle. He looks to break a tackle. He extends for the end zone and down at the 1. A great tackle on the outside from Stratford. I believe it was number 56, Wes Snowden, to keep McGowan out of the end zone.
Look at my man Kingston Hughes, number 75 right there, carrying people into the end zone. Again, you don't want to see the big fella coming around the corner aimed for you.
2nd and inches. They go back to the pay dirt. Great showing from the Stratford defensive front. They've been the difference in the second half. They get a stop.
And now it's man on man, Jack, helmet on helmet. Who's going to win the line of scrimmage? Offensive lineman, you got to get your pads lower than the defensive and drive those legs. Drive that defensive front 7 into the end zone so that your quarterback, running back, whoever can score with ease.
Clary's joining the backfield again. They go back to the pay dirt. He falls forward, waiting a signal and a touchdown. Malik McGowan's second touchdown of the night. He's 15th on the season. The super sophomore showing out in a huge way in the Gator backfield.
Yeah, that's just, we call it a challenge block. Offensive line coaches, they challenge you to win this battle. It's one-on-one, man-on-man. In that particular play, give credit to the Goose Creek offense. They got the best of the Stratford defense. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination as the Gators try to cut it to a 3-point deficit.
Misses automatic. Maya Gonzalez's PAT cuts that deficit to just 3. Malik McGowan is exhausted, rightfully so. 28 carries for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's gotta be our Crew Chevrolet drive of the game. Crew Chevy on Rivers, just north of Northwoods Mall. You got a friend at Crew Chevy. These Gator fans got a friend in the super sophomore running back.
Well, I tell you what, Jack, there's been no shortage of drives of the game here tonight, offensively for both teams. But, yeah, our last one definitely a much-needed drive as the Gators were trying to answer the last touchdown by Stratford, which, of course, propelled them to a 10-point advantage. And I was literally about to say, Jack, that, hey, time of possession, they're going to have the ball twice. Scoring has not been the issue. Now can the Gators get the stop defensively and get the ball back to their offense in enough time?
The defense has looked better in the second half. But the number I want to tell you, Jakin Davis dashed into the end zone for his 5th touchdown at 8:52. Goose Creek answers in 1 minute and 48 seconds. Game time. And now look at the special teams unit. Roll call to the football. Tackled around the 24. The momentum swaying for the home team. It's senior night with 5:59 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Jordan Ravenel was the first Gator there to chomp on the Knights in that return. So now again, can the Goose Creek defense make the Stratford offense Gator bait, come up with a 3-and-out and get the ball back to the sensational sophomore quarterback, Cleary? Or will the sensational sophomore quarterback, Davis, go on a time-consuming drive, punch it in the end zone, and give the Knights their first region championship in how many years? 17 years.
The Golden Goose on the line, a region championship on the line, a first-round home playoff game on the line, and a penalty down.
And Stratford's really been somewhat penalty-free here in the second half. Not the ideal way to start a very crucial drive as you make a drive for the region championship.
I say a lot of kudos to this Goose Creek student section and band on their feet all night. Can they make a difference with 5:59 to go in the fourth quarter? Davis in the backfield with Holman. Can they deliver the final nail in the coffin? They go back to the ground. It's Holman. He gets back those 5 yards from the false start, and he's got more. A 14-yard run. You hear the excitement in my voice because that's just gritty, hard-nosed football.
All I'm waiting for him to do is stand up and start feeding himself as Ezekiel Elliott used to do when he was with the Cowboys, because they right now are giving the ball to this young man and letting him, Mr. Holcomb, just go ahead and lead his team to a championship. That's second effort blocking. Job well done by the Stratford offense.
That left side was Landon Stradcutter, the 3-year starter. And how about the big fella, the left tackle, DJ Crawford, 6'5", 255, great size, great length. Did a huge job of pushing Holman from behind. They go back to Holman. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's hitting the backfield, and to no surprise, lunges forward for another West Shore home first down.
Well, I don't know a lot, but I know that arm tackling is not going to get Mr. Holgram on the ground. You got to wrap this young man up. He has now, seems like he's found a second gear as the game's gone on. He's running harder now than he did earlier in the contest. And right now, they're just going to simply just drive this football and try to go on a 5-minute scoring drive if they can. Doesn't necessarily need to end in points. Just don't give the ball back to Goose Creek.
And it's been really interesting. A scoring affair on both sides, but Stratford's done it all on the ground tonight. I mean, Jakin Davis has only had to throw the ball 13 times for 63 yards. They haven't needed the aerial attack tonight. Now they can slow it down after the big-time games. And with 4:30 left on the clock, Goose Creek's got 3 timeouts. You start counting down the seconds. And Jake and Davis, how about the high IQ play?
Yep.
The two older brothers that played the position. Bo Nix, the mentor, wisely slides down in
Exactly.
bounds.
Keep that clock moving. Tick, 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 tick. You don't want to stop that clock by any stretch of the imagination. As you see Danny McDaniel saying, keep the clock moving.
Well, hey, he's besides himself. No one was more upset than Jake and Davis. So the high IQ of a sophomore to turn and go, hey, that clock stopped. That clock stopped. Officials' arms still windmilling. Denny McDaniel knows it. He's upset. And Everett, I ask you, with now 2nd and 4, under 4 minutes, you got 3 timeouts in the back pocket. When do you use them?
Probably if they pick up a first down here after this particular series of downs. Actually, I would use one right now because it's 3rd down and 6. Let's see if Coach Winstead agrees.
Caden Gatson, an angry tackle for a loss in the backfield. We're looking at now about 3rd and 5. Watch Gatson explode off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, unblocked. Nice job of filling in the gaps. Roll call at the football. 3 black helmets there. And a 3rd down coming up. And Goose Creek's not using a timeout, so they're just going to let that clock run down.
3rd and 4. It was Daughtery and Duran Smith in on the tackle as well. Can they get one more team defensive stop? They got 7 in the box. Davis bounces to the outside. He cuts back up through the middle of the field. And another West Shore home first down. Clock still dwindling. 3 minutes to the first region championship in 17 years for the Knights.
Yeah, this is what we refer to as either the Tim Tebow or the Cam Newton offense, where you basically snap it to the quarterback and they just take off around the right, around the left, around the middle. And that's what they're going to do here with this last 2:55. Honestly, you don't even need any wide receivers out there. Not going to throw the football. This is just, you know what, get us one more first down and we're region champs.
2:45 in the 4th quarter. It's been the rushing attack all night for the Knights. One more first down should cement a region championship. Goose Creek desperately looking to get off the field. Holman fighting for every yard that he can. He can't be tackled. He continues to lunge forward. I haven't seen this aggressive of a running back in a long time, eh?
That's the ultimate yak. Yards after contact. As you can see, first contact is made right there, which should have been a 2-yard gain. And as you see Holman refusing to go down, he actually turns a 2-yard gain into an 8-yard gain. That young man wants a region championship.
The conversation is going to be Jake and Davis. 14 carries, 130 yards, 5 touchdowns. Markel Holman in the run blocking game in that RPO set, immeasurable. Won't pop up at a box score. I'll tell you what will, though. 23 carries for 207 tonight. He ran for $160 last week.
I was about to say that will definitely pop up in the box score, because when you have that type of effort to be able to carry the football 20-plus times for over 200 yards, safe to say that all of those runs, the majority of them, are the ones that got him in a position to score those touchdowns.
Well, it's been the rushing attack, no question, but a couple big stops in this defense in the second half, and that'll be tonight's Will Lou Gray. Never stop learning, stop with the game, never stop learning. This defense stepped up in that early 3rd quarter to kind of sway momentum in their side.
Yeah, I would say either that or even on the mishap on the punt coverage on special teams. But this was a huge one as well, because that came on 3rd down, which gave the ball back to the Stratford Knights. So, yeah, let's go with that as our Will Lou Gray play, our defensive stop of the game.
2nd and 2. And look at that. The wily, savvy sophomore playing with the line of scrimmage, and he gets Goose Creek to jump off sides.
And that's just all about discipline.
Going this way.
Oh, they're calling on Stratford.
Before the snap, false start. 15 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd out.
Hey, you saw it. I saw the front 5. You think you saw someone on the outside?
It was the wide receiver at the top of the screen. If we take a look at, if we can get that replay, yeah, those guys up front moved, but they didn't. I don't think they got into the neutral zone. It was the slot receiver that moved. I'm pretty sure that's who the flag was on.
I misspoke. A crucial penalty as Davis. He's going to keep it on the RPO. He bounces it to the outside, and he's hit hard right at that first down marker. Right foot, left foot. Will it move the chains?
And once again, a nice job of staying in bounds, sliding in bounds, not allowing that clock to stop. As you see Davis checking the scoreboard, saying, hey, it stopped again. But a smart play here, just simply outrunning the defense. And a good job, once again, by his wide receivers blocking down the field.
Can't emphasize it enough. His two older brothers, JD and Josh, both incredible collegiate baseball players. A mentor in Bo Nix, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the collegiate sport. And his dad, one of the best men you ever meet. He comes from a family of fighters, and he has fought tooth and nail tonight. That first down, as he wisely slides in bounds, picks up the first down with just 2 Goose Creek timeouts to go. Could have been the nail in the coffin.
Well, we miscalculated on the time, so they can obviously still stop the clock 2 more times here. So definitely one more first down will seal the deal for the Stratford Knights.
They've called upon Michael Nelson, Spanzer, and Smith. Can they step up and make a huge play in that second level? Davis will keep. There's that Tebow look. No question about it. The quarterback keeps it. A gain of about 2. A nice tackle from number 84 from Goose Creek. That was J.T. Warren.
What you want to do now, Jack, as a runner, when you go into those lines of scrimmage and obviously engage in the defense, you want to cover that football up. 2 hands on the ball. If you're Goose Creek, you're trying to tackle the football, not necessarily the runner. You're trying to poke it out, knock it out, force a turnover. So you have to be very careful with that football. Cover it up nice, high and tight. Don't let those guys get hands on it.
Something else to keep note of, this game far from over. Anything can happen. It's the beauty in sports. Talk to Coach McDaniel. I'm not a math guy. But Stratford 2-1, Goose Creek 3-0 in the region. They said because of point differential and because of the way it all broke down, right?
Right.
They needed to win by 3 points or more in order to be region champs.
And it's right at 3.
Sports are nuts.
Wow.
Before Stratford heads back out, we're going to take a look at the Holy City Heating and Air coolest play of the game. We provide solutions for every season. Got to imagine it's Mr. Jacob Davis.
Well, it's not 5 degrees outside, but I know Mr. Davis has 5 touchdowns tonight, and he's been a cool player for Danny McDaniel and the Stratford Knights, and he's 1 first down away from being the coolest player in Crowfield Plantation tonight in Stratford, as he is trying to lead his team to a region championship.
And keep it on the ground. The Stratford sideline has erupted. Davis plunges forward for a first down. The ball did pop loose. Based off of the official's reaction, it clearly looked as if it was down due to contact. The chains are moving. The Knights are moving. And Jacob Davis may have just secured a region championship.
So I'm pretty sure Danny McDaniel is going to learn from Mario Cristobal, the head football coach at the University of Miami. And while the Gators can stop the clock one more time, that's not enough. So I totally expect to see the Stratford Knights in the victory formation as they are 1 minute and 23 seconds away from a region title.
The Golden Goose Trophy, I wasn't making it up, folks. It's the Clash in the Creek. They're all going to sprint towards it because isn't that not just the best rivalry trophy you ever seen?
Now that's sharp right there. That's sharp. The city of Goose Creek. Congratulations.
You're going to go behind
to the Stratford Knights.
I got to tell you, it's just something about victory formation. Like, dude,
the pistol set.
Just get under center. Like, just hand it off to the guy behind you. So many bad things can happen. But it looks like it is indeed going to be enough. And congratulations to the Stratford Knights because they're going to win their region championship.
This sideline has erupted. We may not have ever done this before in the history of Friday Night Rivals. Tonight's Preferred Home Services player of the game with 5 rushing touchdowns back-to-back weeks. The Preferred Home Services player of the game, none other than number 1, the sophomore, Jacob Davis.
Yeah, congratulations to him, the entire offensive line, the entire offensive unit. Actually, just this entire Stratford team, because the defense came up huge in the second half, made adjustments, held Goose Creek to just 7 points in the second half after giving up 28. So congratulations to Stratford. Yeah, Jacob Davis, he's going to be officially the player of the game, but this is definitely a team.
The penalty for encroachment will be declined. It's still declined.
A conversation that we maybe got the back end. It looks like it was an encroachment. Stratford will decline. But Everett, to your point, man, you're spot on. And Jake and Davis, getting to know him in interviews throughout the week, understanding where his family, he's going to be the first to say, man, this offensive line the last 2 weeks stepped up to a whole other level. Markel Holman with 200-plus rushing yards after $160 last week. Huge in the run blocking game. Jake Deacon huge in the run blocking game. Made a couple massive plays on first down. A total team effort, and that's how the Knights, who got off to the season in a rough start, 3-6 entering the game. They're going to go home 4-6, 3-1 in the region. Call them Golden Goose champs. Call them region champs.
Home playoff game next week as well, so congratulations. And again, the second half was the difference, Jack. The second half, last week against Berkeley, here tonight against Goose Creek, and at the end of the night, Stratford did it.
And I don't want to speak on it because I don't necessarily know for certain, but based off the point differential, it could be a co-region champion situation. A lot of credit to Jason Winstead and the Goose Creek Gators. Kamani Clary and Malik McGowan were unbelievable tonight. An offensive showing, one for the record books. But Winstead looking for his 5th straight region championship in just 6 years. He's built a juggernaut. This rivalry reaching levels and measurements that we can't even comprehend what happened tonight from an offensive standing. Truly just blessed to be on the call with you tonight.
Well, and it's one of those situations where I think both of these teams can make some noise in the playoffs. If they get the right matchup against a defense that's maybe not quite used to going up against such dynamic players as what we saw tonight with both quarterbacks, both running backs. I could see these teams doing a little something, winning a game or two in the playoffs, and we can only hope. But right now, all the attention goes to the Stratford Knights. Great performance, great season, or regular season for Goose Creek, but in the end, just too much Jake and Davis tonight.
Too much Jake and Davis. Defense wins championships, Everett, but in this playoff run, that quarterback and running back duo in that Knights backfield is going to scare some teams. Look at the emotion, the enthusiasm. The Stratford Knights, their first region championship in 17 years. Somersault, sip and slide into the red zone. You boys deserved it.
Well, it's the Battle of Goose Creek. This is now, I guess they can say they have the bragging rights for 364 days. It's obviously quite an accomplishment to win the region title, but when you beat your arch rival to do it, as they say in the SEC, Jack, it just means a little more.
38-35. Stratford takes down Goose Creek. We'll be right back after this quick break with our trophy presentation and the Golden Goose presentation. Don't go anywhere. We know you're as excited as we are. Welcome you back in to John Fulmer Field. Host Goose Creek Gators. They just fall just short. Stratford with a 38-35 victory on tonight's Preferred Home Services. Friday Night Rivals driven by Crew Chevrolet. Jack DeLongchamp alongside Everett German. They saved us the best for last. Week 10 was an unbelievable night.
Yeah, it really was, Jack. Two outstanding ball clubs, both well coached, both seem to be playing their best football at the latter part, at the end of the season, which is what all coaches desire to have. So to have the arch rival game as we had between Stratford and Goose Creek, and for the Knights to get the win, special night here on Friday Night Rivals.
As we kick it down to the Stratford Knights, tonight's trophy presentation sponsored by All-American Awards, helping Charleston recognize excellence since 1993. Well, it wasn't quite 1993 when Stratford won their last region championship, but with Golden Goose in hands, our preferred services player of the game, Jakin Davis, we kick it down to Denny McDaniel and Trooper Bob for tonight's trophy presentation.
Hey guys, they got the Golden Goose right here of the team. We also have the player of the game, number 1, Davis, the quarterback. Coach, how proud are you of your team to come back in the second half when you were down at halftime to get this win?
To say proud is an understatement. These guys accepted the challenge at halftime, come out, focus, make plays, and they did a heck of a job. Proud of them.
Yeah. I got a trophy for you also. We've got the Preferred Home Services trophy. Congratulations on the big win.
Hey, watch out, let Trooper Bob get out.
Beauty in sport. So much emotion, so much passion, sweat, tears. All summer long, these guys have worked together their entire lives for a moment like tonight.
You know, and the important thing is, Jack, you mentioned they got out to a slow start. Think about a regular season, they didn't even finish with a 500 record, but at the end, they got the most important thing, which is the region championship. So this is a great story of, it's not how you start, but how you finish. When things get rough early on, you have to hang in there, believe, keep your eye on the big prize, which is the region championship. Now, this closes out the first phase of your season. Now begins the most important phase, which is the playoffs.
You know Denny McDaniel well, an alma mater. Played down the street at Charleston. What's it mean to him? Run me through his emotions. 17 years without a region championship.
Well, you think about it. I mean, he played for Ray Stackley, as I believe that might be Coach Stackley. Nope, that's not Coach Stackley there. But yeah, I'm just simply saying, as somebody who played for Coach Stackley, he has pride in, obviously, the Stratford program. He helped build it to where it was in terms of its legacy. And now to come back after coaching at other places, but to come home and in his 6th year, finally get over the hump and win the region championship, says a lot for Danny McDaniel.
You see a lot of hugs and some tears down on the field. A remarkable night. You roll through him, I'll tell you. Kamani Clary of Goose Creek is going to be a wondrous talent. He was 14 of 18 from 309 in the air and 3 tutties. Malik McGowan, 228 on the ground and 2 touchdowns for Goose Creek. Shy Grant led the way with those 2 big catches, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. But it was the running attack. It was an absolute beatdown on the ground. Jakin Davis, he ran for $164 on 18 carries and those 5 loud touchdowns. But Markel Holman, 27 carries, 232. They did it on the ground. They did it just hard-nosed football.
But you know what, Jack? It's not going to be many games that you, rack up 531 yards and you lose. So this is one of those nights where it wasn't a defensive night for either team, but in the end, Stratford just made one more play than Goose Creek, and that's why they're going to be victorious tonight.
The third phase was crucial. The defenses struggled at times, but showed up in the second half. What an unbelievable way to end this year. I cannot say thank you enough to all of our sponsors that make these Friday nights possible. Preferred Home Services, Crew Chevrolet, Mr. Sparky, Miller Dawson Siegel Ward, Delta Force, West Shore, Trident Technical, Holy City Heating and Air, TC Equipment Rental, Will Lou Gray, All-American Awards, U.S. Marines, and the South Carolina Veterans Association. I'm flying through them, but we cannot say thank you enough for allowing us to make these kids' dreams come true.
Obviously, all the guys, the crew as well, camera guys, producers. Also, thank you to Channel 4. Jack, it's been a blast this season. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to do it again next year. What a game. What a way to cap off
as
Friday
we
Night
roll
Rivals.
out for our final slate. I want to say thank you to Dr. Russ Aaron. I got to say thank you for Chris, who corrals our entire group together. We couldn't do it without our on-site guy. But I got to say thank you to you, man. A dream come true to work and learn from you. An unbelievable fall.
Hey, you're the future. We're turning it over to you young bucks, letting y'all have it. It's been a pleasure as well. You know what, Jack? I'm going to leave on this. Tonight for Stratford, the creek did not rise. Congratulations to the Stratford Knights.
We went fishing. We watched some football. It was a fall to remember, and we thank everyone who tuned in and joined us for the final time this fall. We say thank you. Friday Night Rivals, its preferred home services, all driven by Crew Chevrolet. Stratford with their first region championship in 17 years with a 38-35 victory at Offensive Showout. We say thank you and good night.